Good morning, afternoon. Hey, Lokamai. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Miss P. All right, let me get my camera. There we go. I'm gonna do this. Happy, what is today? Saturday. Saturday? Today's Saturday? Yes, it is. Yep. Oh, and it's March 1st, so I gifted some memberships. I think I only had 5, so I gifted 5. Um, man, oh man. I'm still listening to this. Yes, it is March 1st. Thank you. I'm still listening to. Um, I'm actually listening to Sally Ann's live with Scotty on it. Does anybody hear that this morning? I don't know. I think it was earlier this morning. I'm not sure. Hey, Jess. There were some interesting points I just wanted to point out, just commentate on, uh, because the irony, you know? Shit. By the way, I got a really good workout in last night. And when I take this creatine and these workout pills before I work out, they really get me going on the treadmill. That's why I usually get up to I only go 3 miles and then I usually stop. A couple times I've got like almost 3 miles, but then I pump and I lift and I'm getting heavier and heavier and heavier each time I go to the gym. And I'm actually seeing my arms grow back. It's amazing. So I'm excited about that. Seeing like muscles in my legs pop, and that's what's motivating when you like if you try to push yourself to go and try to push yourself to work out and stuff or do something, it's like if you don't see results, it sucks. But you have to just keep going, and then the more you start seeing results, thankfully for me, I'm not like extremely and I wasn't like extremely fat, you know. Um so thankfully for me, like with muscle memory, it shows a lot quicker in my body just because basically I needed to tone and lose some belly fat. That's where my fat was really around, was my belly. And that's all good. It's all good. Hold on. Look at this. Look at it's going away. Now if I sit though, this is how you know if it's going away completely or not. If I sit and it does any of this, that's gotta go. That's gotta go. But my pecs are getting they're getting so much bigger. But see this? That's gotta go. That's gotta tighten up. You gotta tighten up. But I felt it like yesterday. I was sitting in my car and one of my pecs bounced. Like it bounced a little when I like flexed it. I can't do the back and forth titty bounce though. My brother can do that. Um, I'm not doing spray tan anymore, Lokamai. I do the beds. I haven't done a spray tan in quite a long time. But thank you. They have tanning beds at my gym, so I tan before my workout. Hey, Shelly. Yes, I have a few things to say about that, Miss Portland. So gather around and I'll get started.
No, no chance, no, no dance, no chance, no dance, no chance. Give me second chances. That's so cool! I won! Yay! Ow! Ow! My
Okay, so hold on. The first thing I'm going to ask you, hey, Wendy. Oh, let me start with this because, you know, a lot of people like to go after, um, how do I go? Because, see, now I have to stop and think because I'm sober. So I stop and I think how to word things when I'm speaking. Um, But some things are just, they can be frustrating because you see people doing things that they're against. So I'll just start with this. When somebody goes on strike, or somebody is, they're picketing, they're going on strike. Let's say it's at a grocery store, or let's say it's for the Me Too movement, or let's say as a gay person, I go picket for like gay rights and stuff like that, right? If you saw me screaming every single day, picketing for, I'm going to use me for example, for gay rights, and I'm screaming from the top of my lungs every single day I get out there because let's say that people are attacking me and my rights. Oh, Shelly, do you mean my sound or is my sound okay? Let me make sure my sound's okay before I continue. Oh my God, Loco, I woke up about 30 minutes ago too. Is my sound good? I love you, Miss P. Oh, this French vanilla coffee is good. Oh, you know what? Let me disconnect from my wife. Okay, Loco, thank you. Yes, you have, Miss P, and thank you. And thank you, Locomai. Um, okay, so let's say that I was shouting from the rooftops every day, chanting, got big groups of people together to go, to be an activist for my rights as a gay man and stuff. But then let's say that you saw me trashing somebody who was gay and going against what I was picketing. What would you think about that? Would you take me seriously about my picketing? Would you take me seriously about my outrage, and would you take me seriously about my morals and what I'm fighting for? Because I heard something on Sally Ann's live with Scotty, and by the way, Scotty, great job. I was listening on 2 times speed, and I'm pretty sure I was getting near the end, but I had too much to say about that, so I'm gonna have to finish watching when I'm done. But I heard enough, and I was like taking mental notes. I was like, wait a minute, what? So when you're picketing every day, I did hear Sally Ann say that every single day, Darling Nikki goes live. Are you aware what Darling Nikki is picketing? Anybody understand why she would do that? Hmm? The way I see it is people dogpiled her about being sexually assaulted as a child, whether they believe her or not. And guess what? If I was Nikki, I would scream from the rooftops every day online, and I'd be picketing them streets. Well, we know Darlene Nikki works the streets, but that's besides the point. She is a badass, Samby. Both of them are. So you could understand, or maybe you can't, why somebody would do that, right? Why they would go live every single day and stand up for what they believe in when they went through something so terrible, whether you believe it or not. So hold on, because I got to check something. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So then Sally Ann brings up that I had wished death on CJ. Okay. Now, mind you, she didn't bring up the fact that CJ said that she hopes that I overdose on methamphetamines. That wasn't brought up at all. What she didn't bring up is talking about Scotty's domestic violence or Nikki's sexual assaults or my domestic violence, which you guys seem to forget because you bring that up a lot. You post things about me and stuff. You seem to forget that I'm a victim in a case. But it's okay for you guys to go again, to say that Scotty should get smacked around, which could potentially result in her death or anything like that. But that's okay because you don't like her or Nikki or me. And it can potentially get somebody hurt. And I got to the part where um, Sally Ann said to Scotty, you lied, or you said you're in an accident, or you should get out of your situation if you're being hit, or whatever. What? What? Just by saying that, you could get her hurt, or killed, or injured. So let me ask you a question. You guys were aware long before what you guys posted about me and why I made my merch and everything that I was in a terrible situation, but I deserved it, right? I was in a terrible situation for a long time to the point where, you know, I was starting to um, self medicate. And we all know on here what happens when I do that. Um, I am not the type of person who should put any substance in my body. I'm speaking for myself. It is not good for me. It's not good for my health. It's not good for my mental health. It is not good for my big mouth. Okay, so people are aware that when I would drink, I would fly off the handle, especially if you pissed me off. And I would say some foul shit. I would not think before I spoke. I would say mean, terrible things. And it took me hitting rock bottom to have to wake up because I was so stubborn, and I am so stubborn that I had to get some form of punishment in order for me to get out of a situation I was in and to fix myself. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not, but addiction situations can potentially kill people. Like CJ said, she wished that I would overdose, but that's overlooked. Um, So if you take a look around and you see what people are trying to do now, in my sober right state of mind and just where I'm at right now, you see things more clearly and you're able to process things a little easier, and it's getting easier every day. It's still hard, but and you're able to kind of get a grasp of reality of what's going on in every situation in life and kind of like evaluate it and be like, okay, is that important? Is that worth flying off the handle? Is that worth, saying mean stuff or abusing my body, anything like that? So whether people believe it or not, just like whether they believe Scotty or not, or Nikki, the fact is, for me, like I am getting better for myself. Okay. And you have all these people that hate me, basically taunting me, poking me, but saying that I'm this terrible, horrible person. Well, first of all, you wouldn't do that if you thought that, if you thought I was dangerous or anything. But that kind of shit gets people killed. Addiction can kill you. Relapse can kill you. But that's okay to joke about. That's okay to trash because I am a terrible person to you. When I actively recognize and tell people I understand that self medicating was an issue for me. And I understand that there's things that I've said that are horrible when I've been emotional or self medicating. And that's what I'm actively fixing and doing a great job at. So why anybody would want to like destroy that for me shows enough about yourself, because you guys do. You're like, "Oh, you're drunk or you're going to relapse or this or that." And you make a joke out of it. Well, it may be a joke to you, okay? But then it's not a joke to you. Let's say if I relapsed and I said mean stuff to you, all of a sudden it's serious again, right? But the part about the addiction is a joke that's funny to you. Unless I get drunk and call you names, then all of a sudden it's serious again. That's why I'm saying there's selective outrage, and by no means am I saying or making excuses or saying any mean shit that I've ever said or done is okay, because it's not okay. So when I'm actively like fixing myself, working on myself, and you have people wanting to tear you down, and knowing what the result could be when if someone were to relapse or something, you know that could result in death, and you don't give a fuck because it's funny to you because you don't like me. Well, you're gonna have to keep not liking me, but you're not gonna get new content. You're gonna have to keep recycling the old relapse, the old drunk save Robbie clips. You're gonna have to recycle those until you just get tired of it. Oh, that bird is singing me a melody. He used to sing me sweet melody. He played me, made me believe that this was real love. They acted so shocked when Scotty said, "I don't wish harm on anyone, regardless, or whether or not I like them as a person or not." It boggled their minds. Scotty, thank you for saying that, because, look, there's no excuse to treat people poorly if they treat you poorly. And I've always been a, treat people the way you want to be treated kind of person. And it works good with respect and having manners. It's singing one margarita. Gonna put the birdseed in my puss. Sorry, Sammy threw me off. Actually, it sounds like he's singing Jigga. What's my motherfucking Jigga? It is. That's the tune it's singing. Sorry, I got sidetracked by the one margarita birdie. Gonna put this birdhouse in my pussy. He's doing it again. Maybe it's a she. I don't know. Can you guys hear it? Jigga. Wait, let me see if I can sing with it. Hold on. We go to sidetrack for a sec. I can't whistle really. He's like, "God, you tone deaf fucking piece of shit." He stopped. Wow, I embarrassed him. That or that guy just ran that bird over with that moped. If you heard that. Shit. Oh, I love spring. All right, anyways, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked with that. Fuck. What was I saying? Oh, never mind. I remember. It's meant to be entertaining, not fatal. Yeah, and that's what sucks is like it's entertaining to people, but it somewhere along the line that entertainment's hurting somebody. That fucking moped goes by one more time. One more time. So, anyways, Sally Ann said to Scotty, she said, Scotty had said something like, "Oh, well, they went after this. my dead mom, or she said something along the lines of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, Scotty. Sally Ann's response was, yeah, but you don't go after a dead child. Great point, Sally Ann. Now, let's think about when anybody insults anybody, okay? Let's take it back to elementary school. What is your intention when you are about to say something mean to somebody? Class? And if you don't say anything mean to somebody, only speaking to Locomai because everybody does but her, then what is the intent when someone says something mean to somebody? Anyone? To start a fight? To hurt feelings? Good class. Good answers. Yeah. So, yeah, severity of things can be worse in certain people's eyes, but the moral to the story is uh, you're still trying to hurt someone's feelings. So, when you do that to somebody, are you surprised when they do it in return? I'm not saying they should. I'm not saying it's okay. But are you surprised? I mean, shit, what's the point of a football game? Tackle football. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. If you're trying to win the game, you're going to up the ante. You're not going to fucking play the same way, weak ass way the weak team's playing. You're going to beat their ass, right? And you're going to win the game. You're going to run that ball. You're going to kick that field goal. You're going to be aggressive. So when you start a fight, that is a form of a competition, is it not? Hey, Don. So if you're trying to win that, or in a fight or in drama, you're trying to hurt that person's feelings, and it's not okay. But you looking to get the job done, is you not? Is you not looking to get that job motherfucking done? Yes, you is. And I do not care how petty people think it is or what a joke it is. It only proves my point even more that people joke, and it's funny. And I'm speaking for myself. It's funny to people to poke and to see how it hurts me when they talk about my pets dying and making a joke out of it. Now, am I immune to it by now? Yes. Now it just makes themselves look like assholes. So let's go back in time. Anytime I have said that to somebody or said anything in return about someone they love passing away, it has been, and listen, it's not okay. It's not okay that I did this, but it has been because they make jokes. They literally make videos and channels about my pets dying and making a joke out of it. Those are living creatures that were a part of my life and they died. And to me, that is no fucking different than a human, than a person. It's someone you love. It is someone living that you loved and then they're dead. So that's okay to joke about. That's petty. And so they don't expect it in return. Well, bitch, we playing that game, right? We in this competition, we playing this game of who gonna hurt whose feelings. Now, my mistake has been to hurt that motherfucking person's feelings in return and get the job done. And that's not okay. And that's what I recognize. And that's what being sober does, is it makes you recognize. And that's what seeing these clip channels of, clipping moments that have been terrible. Yeah, it's embarrassing and it makes you feel like shit. But I ain't staying in that motherfucking bubble. I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm making spiritual changes, physical changes, mental, all of it. All of it. And I got receipts. And it's showing in my actions, the way that I approach things, the way that I actually am stopping to think. My therapy is helping. I love my new therapist, by the way. I asked for a different one. This new one is amazing. Oh God, The last session was the best therapy session I've ever had in my life, ever. And he's awesome. Um, but that's what I'm doing. But that's not okay. You don't want me to become a better person, or you do? I don't get it, because you talk about how terrible I am, and when I'm actively addressing each one of these issues, it's still a problem? Like, what? Why are you angry, Miss P? Different people have different lines. A person who may have had shitty parents may see the death of a parent different than a person who sees a pet. Exactly. But the point is, to hurt that person's feelings because you know that they cared about that person. I don't give a fuck. Listen, when I was younger, my older brother, who's also a crazy Gemini, he knew how much I cared about the insects and the ants, and I would hang out and I would sit on the ground from the time I was in diapers until now. I still do this. And I'd have a full blown conversation with the fucking ant on the ground and make sure it got to where it's going safely and would feed it and stuff. My brother thought it was funny to stomp right on front of that fucking ant right in front of my face and kill it. That shit traumatized me. And he thought it was funny. So to him, it was just an ant, like, so what? Who cares? But to me, I'm like, dude, that was my friend. We've been sitting here hanging out, talking. You just killed him. It was fucked up. So your intention is what matters. So save me with the bullshit. I keep hearing my name pop up in every single one of these conversations. Well, you sit with Robbie and he did this and he said that and he. Am I getting down deep in your throat enough? Jesus. Balls deep. Fuck. I am balls deep in all these bitches' throats. Every day. Every day. But how we got to that point of. And if you don't see that they're actively doing it, then you're stupid. You really are dumb. Do you not see these channels and these videos and these taunts and these posts mocking my DV? Mocking my situation, mocking my life going to hell, mocking all of that, mocking addiction, mocking my hamster's death, everything. Do you not see how that could potentially hurt my feelings? But you don't care because you don't like me. And so if I was so dangerous and terrible, why would you do that? It kind of goes against what you're picketing, right? That's why I brought up picketing, and or when you go on strike, why the fuck would you go against what you're striking for? People aren't going to take you seriously. So each day, let me tell you how badass I am and turn on my camera for this bullshit. Each day, I wake up and I take on another day. I do it sober. I do it different than I did in the past. And it's amazing. And each day, I deal with the same issues I did before. I just go about them in a different way. And each day I see people taunting, making jokes, suicide trolling, really, wishing the worst. And I recognize that and I'm just like, no, it actually motivates me even more. So thank you for that. But it makes you look like a hypocrite and a piece of shit because you're going completely against what you're claiming to fight for. Asking Scotty, why don't you say this or that to your friends? I would never in a million years reveal to these vultures what I speak to my friends about in private. Yeah, there's a lot of things, Scotty, Lokamai, Miss P, a lot of you know that you're just simply being a friend. It's you're listening and it doesn't come to YouTube because that's, it's a friendship. So each day I put up with the same shit I did before, and actually even worse now. Isn't it funny how the devil fucks with you more when you're doing good? That's his purpose. When you're fucked up, he's like, oh, there's no point in screwing with that person. Their life is fucked up anyways. So if you, I guess, let me just ask this because they do. My name is in all of their conversations. So the next time I hear a conversation, would any of you people that have my name in your mouth, would you mind addressing just so I can hear for myself? What is it that you fucking want? How can I help you? What can I do for you? Are you okay? Are we good? Done. What is it? How can I help you? How can I satisfy your itch to, uh, I don't know, injure me, uh, get some sort of satisfaction? Like, what results can satisfy your vagina? How can I diddle your skittle? Because I've already been in your throat. Might as well move all over. Metaphorically speaking. Okay. How can I get your rocks off? What's gonna satisfy you? Oh, they want me gone. Yeah. And why is that? Is there some sort of um threat that I pose against these people when they're the ones with my name in their mouth every day? It's not vice versa. And Scotty, you said something that is just simple, common logic that I was like, go, Scotty. When Sally Ann said she goes live every day, well, fuck yeah, she does. And she'll continue to do it, but you don't have to watch. You know, all these people that say, um, we want this person gone. It's like, you realize they can be gone if you just stop fucking thinking about them or talking, right? You know, people might send you clips of them speaking or whatever, but they don't have to be in your everyday life all day, every day, what you think about. If you feel like you need to address some things, I mean, shit, it's your right to do it all day if you want to, but you don't have to. Yeah, Shelly, it's crazy because that is what I hear in every one of these conversations is these women sit with Robbie. He's terrible. He's terrible. Okay, but do you hear the shit that comes out of your fucking mouth? Listen, if I saw somebody I was terrified of, whether in person or on here, I would avoid them at all fucking costs. I wouldn't associate with anybody who talks poorly about them. I wouldn't talk to their friends. I would steer clear and just be fucking terrified because they're such a dangerous, terrible, horrible person. I don't want to be their target. I don't want to be on in their line of fire. None of that shit. So why these bitches jumping in front of this dick? Why y'all trying to get a piece of my tip? If I'm what you say I am, then surely you wouldn't fucking try to get on my fucking list or try to even be noticed by me. But you do. You tag me. I get fucking sent stuff all the time, which please stop. It is a beautiful dick. Thank you. Thank you. I would avoid me at all costs if I was what they truly, you know, if I was truly what they say I am. But then like I am doing better. I'm doing great. I was in a terrible place for a long time. And like I'm having that freedom of growing out of it and being in a better place. I mean, physically just where I'm living, removing myself from toxic situations and stuff like that wasn't wasn't good for a long time for me. And so yeah, of course I was lashing out at people from inner pain, and I recognize that, and that's not okay. But I've removed the toxic things. Um, and we are what we eat. We are what we ingest. I was ingesting a lot of toxic shit. So, oh Lord. You know, Miss P, Sally Ann, that's another thing I don't really, well, I do get it. It's for content. Um she's bored, so she's sticking her nose in stuff that's been hot topics lately around these parts because there's nothing else going on. So they just want to go at other people's lives. But when it comes to Sally Ann, she's like, that's their private life that shouldn't be spoke about. Really? Well, then why are we being Googled and fucking put all over the place with our private lives? Because you don't like us, right? Because you don't believe us. I don't give a fuck. Thank you, Locomine. And you helped get me here. It's been a bumpy road, as people saw, but I'm getting there. Hey, Betty. Took everything Scotty had in her not to start going through the names in the chat and calling out things they have done a million times worse than anything Nikki has done. Well, and it's common logic and common sense. No matter what term you put it in, treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't start none, won't be none. Fuck around and find out. Don't be a cunt. Like, be a good person. It's you can't expect somebody to be kind to you or say nice things to you or any of that stuff if you're a terrible fucking person to them and taunting them. I mean, it's as simple as poking a fucking bear. You just don't do that. And so then when the bear attacks, then you just point out the bear's behavior. And I can confidently, proudly say, anytime that I've fucking gone after someone or said something mean, it has not been okay, but it is because they have poked me. I am a nice fucking person, and my problem is it's not okay for me to attack, but my problem is that I have attacked or I have snapped. So if I'm such the bear to you, why the fuck am I being poked every day? That makes you dumb. I'll be the bear if that makes you dumb. Thank you, Betty. You won't, Miss P. I love you. Yeah, friend. See, and it's all about communicating, and that's another thing. Like I am one of those people where I'm all for communication, and I'm also one of those people that I react too soon. So when you're both of those things, it's hard because you want to immediately communicate and be like, no, fuck you, we're resolving this, fuck you. But what I'm learning is you have to sit on things sometimes. And it's not fun, it's not nice. Some things take time, but that's just something I'm learning in my process of trying to become a better human being than I was yesterday and the day before and the day before. Meanwhile, being reminded every day how much people fucking have anger and want me to be that same. Do you want me? Let me ask you another question to these assholes. Do you want me to be that same person? Do you want me to be the person that says really mean shit and fucking like goes after people and hurts your feelings and goes the lowest and really gets the job done? Do you want me to be that person or do you not? Do you want me to do better? Which one? Which one is it? Should I keep doing what I'm doing? Should I keep like trying to better myself and be a better person for myself and everyone else and be sober? Or should I like go buy a 12 pack and fucking rip into everyone tonight? So you guys have more stuff to talk about. Which one? Which by the way, I'm just saying, should I continue? Is it okay with you guys if I continue to work on myself, or should I just prove you right and like be the monster you are? I don't know which one you want. Hey, there you go, chicken lady. sometimes out loud. She screams like Betty White in that one movie with Sandra Bullock. I don't remember what it's called. Um, Walk in the woods so nobody hears you. God, that'd be nice. You have to get it out sometimes. That would be really nice. Uh, us addicts love most instant gratification. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, whether it's telling someone off, numbing your feelings, like you want that right away. And I'm already an impatient person. So throw in, self-medicating issues on top of that, it's not a good mix. But I recognize that. Hey, Jan. And just everything that I hear from either, whether it's from either side is like, okay, I'm hearing you're hurt, so you're making an excuse to be mean to that person. But then if you come over to my side for my feelings, I'm like, okay, I'm hurt and I'm trying to do the same to that person. It's not okay on either side. It doesn't matter how severe you think it is in your personal opinion. Hey, Rachel, your personal opinion, you could be like, oh, God, no. Like, yeah, it's bad to say someone's pet died and make fun of it, but it's so much worse to say it about their mother. Okay, well, in your opinion, it is. In my opinion, hurting anybody just to do it over anyone they've lost or anything going on, it's mean either way. That's common sense. It's common sense. So if you're expecting someone else to do better, you're talking about how terrible they are, but you're doing all the things that you're claiming they've done, then really you don't want that. You're part of the problem. You're part of your own problem. That's what you are. If you tell me, here's a basic example, because sometimes you have to explain it like you're explaining it to a fucking 2-year-old and they still don't get it. Hey, Lava, let's say that I'm trying to learn to walk. All right. So I'm trying to learn to walk. And you're like, you're frustrated with me. Oh my God. Why don't you just learn to walk already? You've tried so many times. He's just going to fall again. He's just going to fall again. He's just going to fall again. And I'm like, oh, oh, oh God. And then you scold me for falling, right? You scold me. "Ugh, God, this is annoying. Walk. Why don't you just walk?" So I'm like, okay, I'll try again. Okay, I'm going to try again. And then you just run up behind me and push me on the ground. Bitch, you don't want me to walk. Why the fuck did you do that? Why would you do that? Why? And you're mad at me for falling down? What the fuck's your problem? So if you're part of the problem where you're pushing somebody down, but you're scolding them when they're down, well, stop putting those people in those positions. And if you see someone's doing good, why would you want to fuck that up? If your answer in your head was just, well, because they deserve it, well, because what they did before, then you are the problem. You're the problem. Oh, is CJ mad that Scotty showed up on Celian's live? Dragging the four of us. Oh, Celian was dragging Scotty, Amber, me, and Nikki. I didn't watch the part where she was talking. I just fast forwarded to when Scotty went up. CJ was mad that, oh, Celian let Marie 21 in the chat. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. And Scotty, that's why I'm glad you said what you said on her panel when she was like, "Well, you sit with again my name. You sit with Robbie when he's done this and he said this and he said that." And Scotty's like, "And I don't make choices for Robbie. I make my choices, and I don't agree with everything. And we're friends. What more do you want?" Because if we're going to hold Scotty to that standard, then Sally Ann would have to hold herself to that as well, correct? So is it funny making fun of my DV, Sally Ann, that your friends do, and you? Is it funny that you make fun of animals dying when it hurts someone? Is it funny that you make fun of addiction when you've had your own issues? Is it funny that your friends and you mock someone's rape? Let that sink in. That's why it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I guarantee you, all right, these people listen, these fucking idiots, going on and on and on and on and on. And Scarlett's a good example of this. Scarlett lately has been like, this is a man who ripped up the Bible. Yep, and Scarlett was right there by my side supporting it while I did it, and she understood the message at that time. And if you did not understand the message of what I was saying about the Bible, again, you're a part of the problem. My message is if you're not going, just like what I was talking about, you can apply that same message with the Bible that I did at the beginning of this live stream when I was talking about picket lines, going on strike, protesting. When you're walking around with a sign, or if you're walking around with a Bible and you're throwing it in people's faces saying, this is what I believe in, this is what I'm fighting for, this is what I stand for, these are the standards I go by, these are my morals, but then you go against it, people are not going to take you seriously. So that sign you're holding up might as well be ripped up because it's pointless. That Bible you're holding might as well be ripped up because it's pointless. If you're not going by what you're preaching and what you're doing, then it is simply a dead tree that some ink was written on that has not sunken into your skull and that you're not applying to your life. So you might as well rip it up. That was the point of that message. And if you see it any differently, good for you, then you missed the fucking point. And again, you're a part of the problem. They're trying to get Scotty to accept them using her DV trauma as something they can use to try to hurt her while simultaneously trying to shame her for being friends they claim to do the same thing with people that claim to do the same thing. And where does it end? You know, that's why earlier I said, how can I help you? What can ease your pain? Would it be an apology? Because when I do that, I get scolded and say, "Oh, he's lying. That's not a real apology." Okay, so we'll take that off the table. Is it is it going back in time and deleting a live stream maybe that offended you, or a video or a post? Nope, I've done that. That doesn't help. I'm still a terrible person. When I do that, I'm just hiding my actions. So no, that's not going to help. Should I just prove it to you in my actions and the way that I live and the way that I treat others and myself with actual fucking receipts, and not give a shit about what you think and just keep my relationship with myself between me and myself and with God and say, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm going to show you. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tell you sorry. I'm just going to show you. And if you don't like it, and in the future, that sorry or that action or that receipt ain't good enough for you, well, bye. See you later. You ain't good enough to be around me. Because if you're not good enough to be around me in my worst, and you ain't gonna be there for me in my worst, then you ain't getting the best. And the best is yet to come. Because every day I get better and better and better. And that doesn't mean that hurtful words hurt me any less just because I get better. That doesn't mean that things don't bother me when I hear them being said about me or my family or my fucking relationships or my situation I've been in or, my self-medicating issues, any of that kind of stuff. That doesn't hurt any less. But I can choose and I can be in a sober mind of how do I react or respond to this? Hey, Cole, how do I go about this different so I break a pattern that I've had for so long? How do I do that? Okay, I'm going to do it differently. And when I choose to do it differently in a more positive way, I'm still being held accountable for the same fucking. You would think that I was doing the same fucking shit. But that's why I'm saying you're not getting new content. You're not getting new rants. You're not getting new filthy, foul, vile behavior that you got from my self medicating mess of a self that I was, because I have been removed from a toxic situation, a toxic living situation, toxic relationship, toxic everything that I needed to get out of, toxic self medicating situation that I needed to hit rock bottom to get out of. And I'm still working through that pain, but I'm doing it every day in a different way, no matter how bad it hurts, no matter how sad I may be inside. I'm gonna fucking keep on fighting the good motherfucking fight. And if that's a problem for you, again, you're the problem. If you're wishing terrible things on other people, you're part of the problem. Just like when I said, and laughed and said, CJ's going to, die of a heart attack. And I made a joke of that. I was part of the problem. I was part of the problem. You guys are missing that point where I recognize my behavior and I recognize how toxic my life was and how I was treating people around me and everything. And I could not stop. I was so angry and hurt and numbing myself. I could not stop. It literally had to take me having a huge life changing event full of consequences for me to open my eyes and realize I am a part of the problem. And so when I'm addressing that, working on that problem every day, every second of every day, then you're the problem if you're trying to interfere with that. You're the problem if you're constantly trying to poke somebody to get them to go back to their old ways. And that is exactly what you're doing, so that you have something to clip, so that you have something to run and have the victim card about. Well, find somebody else, bitch, because this one's closed for business because I'm sobered up. Shit. Amen. And Amber, you've been part of helping that because Amber and Nikki one time, they told me, they're like, because they know I'm very reactive. They're like, if you just like wait 24 hours when something really hurts you and then see where you're at the next day, as hard as it is, it works. And Amber and Nikki helped me with that. You wait, and the next day it might not even be important enough to think about, let alone speak about or respond. And that actually is a really helpful tool that you guys gave me. And that was shit. That was before all of this stuff happened to me. And when I would use it and apply it, it would work. But again, I was out of control. And I've said this over and over. I had to hit a wall. I had to have life come crumbling down on me to say, hey, buddy, that was God's way of saying, your pride, nah, it's part of your problem right now. We need to fix this, and you ain't doing nothing about it, so move out of the way. God's like, hold my holy water, bitch. And he showed me that I fucked around and found the fuck out. You do enjoy reindeer games out here when I'm in the mood for them? Yeah, and I think that's if we lose self-control, that's where a problem can either that's where a problem can begin. Or you can have self-control and just vent about something, commentate, whatever. It's no different than nicotine or addiction. Is some people enjoy their nicotine, some people enjoy a glass of wine with dinner, some people enjoy a little bit of drama, some people enjoy um, food. But then when we overindulge, that's when it becomes a problem. You may enjoy drama, but guess what? You overindulge, it's going to come back on you. You may enjoy a glass of wine, but you overindulge, it's going to come back on you. You overindulge in food, your ass going to get fat. So, yeah, um, can reality TV or, you know, even Netflix, that's why I can't do these Netflix shows. I can't, people recommend shows to me all the time. And I don't care to watch because I know myself and I'll just sit there, not do anything, and fucking binge these shows and become addicted to the storyline where I have to watch the whole fucking season in one day and then I'm sitting on my fat ass the whole time. I don't want to do that. Just like I don't want to drink because I know that that's going to be a gateway. It's going to get me in trouble. I'm going to be on my fat ass and I'm going to be unhealthy. I don't want to do that. And it's the same with drama. How much do you want to invest in it? How much time do you want to spend on it? How hard do you want to go at people? And how hard are you going to expect it in return? And that's the shitty part about dramatic situations is it's never just going to stay at a low level. You start an argument with somebody and you fire something back, again, it becomes a competition at that point. You're playing a game at that point. And the only way to win a game is to stomp and to win, to stomp the other team, to stomp your opponent. So it never stays, when you watch a football game, they get all amped up and the game gets started, you know, kick the ball to see who goes first, and then maybe they're tired, maybe they're just getting warmed up, and by the end of the game it's like the whole fucking stands are standing up and everyone's on the edge of their seat. That's because that game has progressed and got, maybe the scores got a little bit too tight and they're like, no, we got to win this, and so they get more and more and more aggressive. It's the same as a fucking fight. Oh, oh, it had kittens. you know, you guys, on a side note, and I'm going to drop a link if anybody wants to add anything, and that includes haters. But Siren got me a gift certificate to PetSmart when I first moved here, and I was like, no, no, I can't. So I put my aquarium, because if you didn't know, it was another joke along with my arrest for these people. It was funny to them that my hamster died 2 days after I moved in here because, she was elderly, and that's why I was happy. I was only in jail overnight because I knew she was getting to that point. She was moving slower, and so I just wanted to be with her. So Oscar, the amazing friend he is, he went and got her huge aquarium and brought her down, and she was here with me almost 2 days, and she passed away. But I'm kind of thinking of just going to PetSmart and looking for a sweet, and I already have the name of my next hamster. Her name is Melania, as in Melania Trump. She's gonna be probably the biggest diva one of all my hamsters. I could already see it, and my intuition is telling me that. Melania, thank you, oxygen therapy. Do I? Hey, warrior mom. I think I am. How do I say this? Also, you know, I'm not really sure what I'm not really sure what's going to go on with the dating show because I've been talking to one of the contestants and they wanted to cook dinner for me tonight. Uh, I'm not going to say which one, but they may or may not have smashed in the polls and been like the major winner. they're also really cool. I had a conversation with Amber and Nikki last night that I'm not going to get into, and they had me terrified. Amber. Fuck. Okay, hold on. Let me drop the link. Mm. So, no. I'll just say it. Fuck it. It's Parker. I haven't heard from Cameron. Cameron, are you out there? Where have you been? He hasn't responded to my text about the exact time. But, I'm like, if I'm talking more with this one person, it would kind of be a slap in the face to continue with it. However, it would also be rude to not give the other contestants a chance. And then there's Alejandro, who is gorgeous and amazing. God, my cup overfloweth with semen, to be honest. Wow. Think I'm gonna go look at hamsters, but hold on, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Can you guys hear me? Um, so yeah, I think I am gonna go look at hamsters. I pinned the StreamYard link if anybody wants to add to anything. And also, I know this may be grifting to you guys. However, I did find like a service that helps, and I accidentally paid them, but they refunded me, thank God, with filing for, my divorce. Um, so if anybody wants to donate to help with that, that would be amazing to get that fucking ball rolling. Miss P, turn. Oh, okay, that is you. Hey.
Hey, hey. Just want to let you know, I am so angry, Robbie. I listened also to that person, and I know I should have, but she just made me so angry when she basically made the point that you were only out to use me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know it's not really true, but again, just the comment alone really made me angry.
Well, and consider the source, Miss P, and think about it. That person knows you very well. Okay, Sally Ann, no,
I know.
she's the one that said that
Yep.
by Warrior Mom. Okay, so think about it. Sally Ann knows that you're reactive as well, and you've been doing great
Right.
not doing that. That is her intention. Okay,
Right.
now Sally Ann's not there on the hour-long phone calls we have offline. Any of that, she knows nothing about how
Mhm.
you've been there for me
Right.
nonstop since this happened. And we were not on
Exactly.
good
That's
terms when this first happened. So she's just trying to get a reaction out of you.
I know. But again, I just want to make it clear to your community that several weeks ago when Robbie was really facing rock bottom, I thought to myself, I need to forgive myself and forgive Robbie for everything that's happened. And I'm the one that personally reached out to him because I felt at the time he really needed a friend. And I'm thankful I did because now Robbie and I talk regularly and we talk a lot. And we, have both decided the best thing is just to put all the negative crap in the past and keep it there and
Hmm.
just have what we have now and
Yeah, and
stay the
Miss
good friends that we have become.
Yep, and Miss P, she's taken time day after day after day to even just sit silently in Zoom AA meetings just to be there quietly and there's little back chats and just supporting me and just being like checking up on me and in the middle of the night when I was really
Exactly.
bad for the first 2 weeks that I was at my aunt's and just I was
Right.
so sad and I could not stop crying and just like, you know, you and many other people have lifted me out of that. Um, and it's, you know,
Well,
that sadness is still there. I'm just dealing with it in
yeah.
better ways.
Well, Robbie, in a way, you allow me to be supportive to you, and sitting there in AA with you has also helped me personally because I too come from a long line of alcohol addiction in my own family.
Hmm. Well, and Miss
So,
P, also, you know, one thing I want to say to these people too is I've often heard, say, Robbie, you need to get help. You need to get into therapy. You need to find help. Okay, well, I never did that in the past. I did that for, you know, way, way back in the day. Um, I had a job that offered me like a certain amount of therapy and then it stopped. And it was very beneficial to me, but, you know, it didn't continue. And I think if I would have continued that, it would have been good for me because all the, like, now I have classes that I have to go to that are mandatory and they're helpful. And along with the AA meetings and a therapist. And it's like, it's been, yeah, luckily I've been able to do that through, you know, insurance, but it's been helpful. So I am doing that. So let me ask these people this. If I have put myself in therapy and got help, why are you trying to make me go backwards? Why don't you just let me do that? Because I'm not on here
exactly.
ranting. I'm not on here cussing people out. I may vent my opinion and frustrations, but I'm doing it in more beneficial ways that are healthier. And even some of those shouldn't have responses, even though they're healthier. But I am helping myself. So
Yes, you are,
while
and
I'm
you're
doing
doing
that,
great. You're doing
right.
great, Robbie, and I am so, so proud of you because, again, there was a point where I really seriously thought you were going to hit such severe rock bottom. But, you know, you pulled yourself up and out because of not just me, but other friends that you have and your community here. And look at where you are now.
Hmm. Well, yeah. So while I'm doing, is that you, Amber?
Yes.
Hey, love.
Hey, Miss
Hi.
Amber. Hey, beautiful.
Aw, thank you, Miss P. That's so
Um, Uh, but before Amber says anything, I just wanted to finish and say, like, if these people, right, if they're poking and stuff, they see that I am going through therapy, getting help, and getting better, and trying to get even better than that. They know what's going to happen if I hit rock bottom. They're going to cry again because I'm going to hurt their feelings. So
right.
why would they want to do that?
Or, okay, there's two different scenarios. You either hit rock bottom and you start going off, raging and stuff, and and then they can cry, and they can act like they haven't been poking you this whole entire fucking time, or they're actually very heartless and you hit a worse rock bottom because of all, you know what I'm saying, like, because they keep poking and poking and poking and you say fuck it, and then you're something horrible happens in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
because you're in a, I mean, you're at a vulnerable spot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I agree with you, Amber. Look at where I was last year. I was a very angry person. I was always blowing my temper and, just acting out like didn't really want to. But I also got to the point like Robbie where I had to walk away completely from the tubes for 5 months because I too felt like my own life, like Robbie, was so out of control. I had to go and reevaluate my own life and ask myself, do I really want to continue down this road? Do I really want to continue being this angry and upset all the time and always losing my cool?
Mm-hmm. And in oxygen therapy, like, that's part of my problem is I'm well aware that I'm far too good at roasting. And that's not a good quality to have. It may feel good, but and it may be like to other people it's, you know, it could be funny. Just like Miss P's rants, I think they're funny, but I'd rather her, you know, do good and not have that backlash because in the long run it just gets you in further trouble. And you know, you hear people, I think we know who, but saying, Nikki deserves to be locked up or Robbie deserves behind bars. And Amber, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, well, that happened to me. Okay. I was. And that's why my behavior has changed. It took that happening to me to be like, oh, fuck, man.
And mine too. I was locked up myself, Robbie. If you remember, I went to jail last year for 3 days, and look where it put me. And
Well,
again, even Sally Ann this morning made another comment saying, if Miss P, if you're not careful, you're just going to get yourself into more trouble.
but they're not being careful with their behavior because they're trying to get a rise out of you. Look, Amber's been to jail. They can't stop putting up fake mugshots and real ones. And she corrected her behavior. It's funny, Amber. I think it was in Sally Ann's. I don't know where I saw it this morning, but it was when I first woke up.
Hmm.
And an insult to you was, well, you're an ex addict. That is not an insult. That is a reminder, like, yeah, X being the keyword.
Well, and it's, oh my God, they're so fucking ignorant. Like, so are many in that chat. So is Sally Ann. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, she's an ex-alcoholic. It's basically, it's same type of thing. So how in the world, how is that an insult? I don't fucking understand. And you know what's interesting about that, Miss P, is it wasn't long ago Sally Ann was using your situation day in and day out to poke at Noodle Mash,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Hmm.
So, yeah, it's funny how now all of a sudden she's concerned. You know what I mean? Because she certainly wasn't concerned then. And,
Nope. And she sits over there with that person now.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. They're all
And that's
fake
why
as
I
fuck.
keep asking myself, and I'm going to just be honest with you, Amber, answer me this. Help me make this make sense.
What now?
What?
This a whole situation. Help me make this make sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense. And this is the thing, Miss P. You got to be careful because I think, you know, anytime someone does want to go at that person, they are going to try to weaponize your situation, you know? So,
Yep.
maybe in the future, if anybody does that again, just say, please just don't do that. I'm trying to move on, because
Exactly.
I think
And
that's best.
I was even legally threatened again last night, saying that, that I'm being sent another cease and desist. And it's like, for what? When I haven't said anything.
Just
Well,
don't bring it up. You know what I mean? Just do you on here and have fun and just don't even, just don't even go down that road. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
well,
if you did,
there was a person, and I don't remember whose chat this was in. Um, and I don't remember who said it. I know it was one of my like main haters though. And they had said, when Robbie's next court date is, we need someone from Colorado to go and sit in that courtroom. And I'm thinking to myself, what benefit is that going to be for you? Like,
right.
what? Why? Like, they don't understand. Well, they do. They just don't like to recognize it because I'm not talking about either DV situation. That's what they're baiting me to do. But these people don't point out the fact that I'm also a victim in a prior months to that. So it was a toxic situation on all ends, and it ended bad for all of us legally. Period.
well,
So
again, Robbie, I am in full agreement with you because what people don't also know is I was in an awful first year marriage before my current husband, and I was also very physically badly beaten. And I was in the local emergency room in my area for 8 hours by myself, beaten black, blue, and bloody because my now ex husband was also a severe drunk and came home one night. And just because he didn't get his dinner, he decided to beat the life out of me.
well, you should have learned to cook quicker, Miss P. That's on you. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I know. I know. But,
um,
so, you're not the only one in this whole world that is a previous domestic violence victim.
No,
I,
and I'm not like a saint either. Like, and that's why when they when they say, well, it's public, well, no, I mean, it wasn't. And first of all, I was not arrested from the video I posted. I actually, because they keep saying that video I played where I was like, they called the cops on me because I was threatening unaliving. And then those police officers actually left after I filmed that video, and I was fine. And I was on the phone with the suicide hotline for like an hour. And Oscar came over, calmed me down, and then things escalated from there. But they act like Sally Ann said to Scotty today, well, that's so and so's personal life. That's nobody's business. And it's like, okay, well, you could apply that to yourself and the people you're talking about as well, because these people do not know the situations of what happened. They just fucking don't. And was it who was it? Oh, Navigator was like, would people like to know what Robbie thinks about black police officers? And I'm like, black police officers, what? I've already said, and you could pull the body cam footage. Amy probably already fucking has. uh I was wasted out of my mind. I was calling everybody names. I was calling people the F word. There was an Asian cop there, like all of it. I was saying all the fucking things. And I was pissed, and I fucked around and found out and got myself locked up. Period.
And again, that's half my problem is just normally for me, genetic wise, I have a very hot temper on me, but personally, I don't like being angry all the time. I don't like getting all pissed off and losing my temper. Because
Well, I don't
truthfully,
think anybody.
Good
that's
night,
not
Jen.
who I really am.
Go ahead, Ember.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, what kills me is I just, if people can't see, like these people, I swear to God, when I wake up and log on, I'm like, okay, how many little troll videos have they made? Who's streaming? I mean, they're panel to panel talking about us all fucking day. They can make a comment that Nikki streams every night, but like that's all she does. I mean, I just it's looking obsessive on their end, like big time. I just don't get it. I don't
Well,
get it.
that crazy ass Wendy account, whoever the fuck's behind that, wink, wink. Those motherfuckers, literally, all it took me saying yesterday was those people post about me all day. They literally tagged me yesterday, and it was my mugshot in a short, and they're like, their little robotic voice they type in, they're like, your mugshot, you just don't like your mugshot. And I'm like, does anybody fucking like their mugshot, you idiot? Like,
Right.
and then everything you do is being traced and blah blah blah. It's like, well, the same fucking applies to you. Do you see people tagging you, Wendy?
Right. Right. I mean, my God, like that. Yeah. Whoever
Is
Well,
that you,
person
Scotty?
be, which I'm narrowing it down to two.
Yep, it's me.
Okay.
Hey, Scotty. They.
but I'll say one more thing, then I'll let you ladies talk. But again, what really made me explode this last week is I was on
Sorry, Amber.
somebody's panel, and the gentleman was very kind to me, and his panel guest asked me the honest truth of what happened to me last year, and I was very open and honest. I said my mouth got me in trouble. I was arrested. I was put in jail for 3 days, and that's all I basically said. And somebody along the line got all flipped out and got all pissed off at me. And again, now is throwing more legal threats my way because of me being on somebody else's open panel. And all
Yeah,
I did was simply answer a question that I was asked.
well, Miss P, they're gonna wait. I think all four of us, if correct me if I'm wrong, I think we've all sat in a jail cell at one point. These people that have never been to jail, they just think like, oh, they
Right.
belong in jail, like you're just sitting behind bars. No, like you're sitting in all of your thoughts that entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And these people don't see how that could change somebody just in 2 hours even,
Oh my God. Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me tell you, the first time I was ever arrested, that was such a wake up call to me. I mean, I only spent one night, but I remember, I can see it now. Like, I remember saying to myself, okay, this is it. If I keep going down this road, this is gonna be my life. Like, this will be my fucking life. Because there's no fucking way I'm gonna keep going and not get caught doing shit. So, I mean, that was a big enough wake up call that I got sober for 5 years, and of course, my life got good. It got full. You know, I was on top of everything. And I think I just got too comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and I quit doing the work that I needed to keep doing. So I relapsed. But my point is, yes, one night will fucking wake you up quick.
Yep. And see, and a lot of people will say, well, that you got arrested again.
I
What they
know.
don't realize is, first of all, relapse is a part of recovery, but also you said 5 years after the first time. That's a long time.
A
And
lot.
so then when you said, you relapsed again, then you were arrested again. I mean, that's what kept you going again. Like sometimes you need
Right.
that little push or wake up call to like motivate you again. And people don't
Absolutely.
understand that.
Like if you look at, okay, if you were to look at my record, you know, it's very apparent. I mean, the judge even said this. He's like, okay, you know, you clearly have a problem, and you become a different person when you're using, because, you know, if that weren't the case, your arrests would be way more spread out and there would be more of them. But the fact that it's like, okay, there's one arrest and then I go like, you know, 5 years, and then boom, there's, I think it was four more. And those
Yeah.
four were in a span of like 2 weeks. Okay. Then, you know, I go another big chunk of time, boom, it happens again. So that's a clear pattern of like, okay, this person was clearly doing good and then something fucking happened. Like, you know, so yeah, that's something that happened, was I decided to get high again, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it would happen again for sure. So I got to
Yeah, and
remember
see,
that.
you're aware of that. And the fact that you're aware of that and people still throw it in your face is like,
I
why
know.
would you want to poke somebody into that? Like, that's a really, especially you, Sally Ann, which, by the
Right.
way, you had a very eventful morning, Scotty. Would you like to share?
Ooh, what happened? Scotty, where are
She
you?
fell asleep from
Yeah.
the exhaustion of that panel.
Wait, so did you go up on that panel? I didn't see.
You
Yes, I
did?
sure did. Uh-huh.
Oh, girl, well, you tell us about it.
Well, look, like she goes live and it was bashing you and Robbie and Nikki, right? That's how it
Of
started off.
course.
Um because she was triggered because Nikki struck a video that she had put out where she basically took an hour of one of Nikki's streams, condensed it, sped it up, made it into a half hour, right? I think it was even
Mhm.
over a half hour, and put a little blinking note on it that, I don't even remember what it said, but for terms of service, trying to claim that, she was transforming it and slapped it out there. Okay. Something like that wouldn't bother me, but I'm not monetized. Okay. They're both monetized. By her doing that, she's stealing views from a live that Nikki just did like a day or two ago. Right.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I see a problem with that. I can see why Nikki would strike that. That is not clipping somebody's stream. Okay. That's not taking a clip and giving commentary on it or transforming it into an original work. That is just straight ganking somebody's stream and monetizing it for your own channel, which is
Mhm.
kind of like bad form, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I made a video where I was like, hey, you can be mad all you want, but I think Nikki had every right to strike it, and I was
For
like,
content.
honestly, I don't think you need to make a big deal about it. You should just take the loss on it, because even from a bystander's viewpoint, you stole her content and you're making money on it.
Mhm.
I would be mad too,
Yep.
Mhm.
and I mean, any of us would, right?
Yeah.
So, um, I did this on purpose. I ain't gonna lie. I premiered my little 48-second video saying that while she was live. And she's like, oh, guess who just has a premiere coming out with my name in it, right? Scotty. And she starts watching it and it triggered her. Like, she got mad.
Of course
So
she got.
she goes into this rant on me. I mean, just saying all these horrible things about me. I was this and a that and horrible stuff. And she's like, Scotty, why don't you come in here and take a link? Come up here on the panel. Okay, drop the link. And I even wrote in the chat, drop the link, Biggin. You know what I mean? If you're so brave,
right?
Drop the link. And I hopped up there, and it was fun. It was fun. You already know. I had everyone in the chat just going absolutely crazy on me.
Ape shit, probably.
Yeah. Yep. Everybody was a victim.
I was gonna say, I bet it was a lot of like, Scotty, what about when you said this about me? Scotty, what about?
Well, and it kept going back to me too. While you sit with Robbie and Scotty's like,
oh yeah,
Robbie is his own like he's my friend. Like, period. Like, you have friends. You don't agree with everything they do, you know? And Scotty was just like calm, and Sally Ann kept pushing that.
Right. Well, Sally Ann had no problem being your friend, Robbie. Neither did Amy whenever it was a benefit to them. And, they had a little bit of clout and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that they're saying now. Yeah, well, one thing that is 100% false, by the way, that I have heard Amy say when she's like, oh, yeah, he called the funeral home of Mommy Rambling Son when he died. I was like, wait a minute, that never happened.
No, you did not.
No, but let's say even if I did, why the fuck were you friends with me all the way from then? Wasn't that 5 years ago?
Good point.
So if that was the case, why are you now just saying something about it? That never happened. Everybody witnessed that happen. They know how it went down with Limonade. None of us were saying anything. And then finally, one night when I relapsed, I was like, fuck you guys. You're going to blame me for it. I'm doing it. Fuck you. After being taunted for like a year. Was it okay for me to do? No. Was alcohol involved? Yes. It was terrible of me to say, and I apologize for it. But I never fucking called a funeral home. What I did was I did verify to see if he passed away. I looked up, his background. And he was, in fact, deceased. Because everybody was saying, oh, it's a scam. And I was like, well, I'm going to look into it.
Right. Yeah, no.
But I'd never called a funeral home like Mander Lynn did. I didn't know she did that till yesterday.
Who did she do that to?
I don't know. Who was the one?
I don't know who it was. It was someone in, I guess, DC.
The fuck?
Yeah, she called a funeral home to make sure that the person who a girl she didn't like was actually there. And I guess she sent the information. She got around to like all kinds of people.
Well, yeah, and I'm not like, oh, sorry. I'm not saying that to be like, oh, you did this, you did, because I'm not a saint. What I'm saying I'm just saying, like, don't be outraged about something when you're doing, like, fucking stop your shit and other people stop their shit, period.
Right.
Well, but again, what bothers me, Robbie, is like everybody else is, again, when I was asked to come up on panel the other day by, a new creator that is a friend of Nikki's,
Roman.
And again, they asked me some honest questions and I answered them honestly. Somebody got all flipped out because I was up on panel. And now I'm being told, if you don't keep your mouth shut, you're going to get A, B, C, and D. It's like, you know what? I think I have every right to be on panel with someone. And if they ask me a question, I'm going to
just be careful.
Give them an honest answer.
Yeah, just be careful, though. Because even not saying names and stuff, just be careful because a lot of people they know how to bait you. So just, I would be very careful.
I wouldn't even.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to, but again, I just feel like now I'm being kept from, being offered to come up on somebody's panel. And it's like, I think I have as much right to be on even your panel, without being told I can't.
No, you do. And just talking about like a situation that could possibly get you in trouble. That's why, I mean, it's the same thing with me. People are trying to bait me to talk details about either one of my situations, whether I'm the victim in one of them or not. And it's not going to fucking happen.
Right. But again, all I did was simply answer a question that was asked of me. And I gave an honest answer. And again, after that, somebody else on the streets, you know, basically got all ticked off because I answered an honest question.
So
Yeah, and that did not. Rachel, everybody's had their opinion. Oh, sorry, Amber, just before you say that.
yeah, no, it's okay.
I I was very outspoken. Everybody in a true crime case has an opinion, okay? And I was very respectful the way I would explain it when I would talk about my unpopular opinion on the Chris Watts case. And I felt a certain way about Shanann. And all of us privately, of course, out of respect, I would talk my real, like, hardcore opinions offline so I didn't offend people and hurt people's feelings. But I definitely had that. And people may have taken what Amber said privately or whatever and been like, oh, she never did that.
Right. I was about to say that is absolutely fucking absurd that Amy is saying that. Amy, please, direct me to where I tormented the parents. The only thing I really ever did was when all the legal stuff happened, I had questions. That's it. I had questions because there was things that didn't, in my mind, they didn't make sense at the time. So I had questions, but I was never disrespectful or anything like that. And what's funny about that is I think, someone who tormented them might be the person who used the avatar of Shanann and made googly eyes and was literally, quote unquote, Miss Menza's hitman. Okay? So,
Who's who was that? Who was that?
Granny Fanny.
Oh, well, and let
How
me
he came
just,
on.
well, and I wouldn't say this is tormenting, but it's not exactly respectful and on my end because I was going to do it. But the way that I met Amy, the first conversation we had, she said, "Would it be okay if I bought a hidden camera? It blends in with things. You just stick it on the wall, and would you run it up to the Watts house so I can watch it 24/7?" And I
That's
was going. She mailed it to me, and I was going to go put it up there so she can monitor 24 hours a day. But instead, I told her, I was like, I really don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't want to get in trouble. So I gave it to Mexi and he used it as like a body cam thing for his streams. But that was from Amy.
wow. See, she's so full of shit. See, she's trying to rewrite history
I
with.
called her out. I called
Did
her
you?
out on some of her full of shittedness today. Yes,
Good
I
for
sure
you.
did. She started in on they attacked my kids and grandkids and you co-signed it. You were there. Okay, stop. You
Right.
know what? I'm in the from chat, but Sally was being a good little parrot and repeating everything they were asking. But I said no. One night, one person made some comments on your son that, from what I've been told, was simply repeating what you yourself had said about your own kid.
Right.
So I'm not going to have an opinion on that because I wasn't in y'all's conversations. I don't know what you said. I don't know what has been said, but it wasn't like you're portraying it. It was not, let's have a chat and bash little children. And I brought that up. I said, I have not heard one person come out here and speak on her grandchildren.
Not
I mean,
one.
what are you even going to say about a baby under the age of 5? That's ridiculous. And people that believe that, come on, and I said, in fact, the only thing I've heard about your grandchildren was when you put a video out to torment Tinksy of
Mhm.
your grandchild saying hello to her. That's the only time I've seen your grandchild out here. So that's on you. You know what I mean? And I kept trying to point out, Amy is not some innocent victim who's just being put upon by
Mm-mm.
these evil powers that be. You know what I mean? Like, this is a tit for tat.
Yeah.
I have a clip of her screaming at the top of her lungs, Nikki, I don't believe you were raped. This was someone she claimed to be friends with, good friends, best friends with, all 3 of you guys. I brought that up too.
Mhm.
These are supposed to be people you love and you have a relationship with outside of this drama community, supposedly.
Yep. Keep
But
that in
yeah,
mind.
I sat and watched her turn on you guys on a dime.
Yep. And
On
when
a dime.
and I mean, she speaks on my family and parenting all the fucking time. I mean, they're lies, they're bold-faced lies, but she does it all the damn time, you know. And I even gave her the like respect, and I said, look, I don't want to bring up Amy's kids, you know, on my channel. That's one thing
Yeah.
I can do, but it doesn't matter. She still runs with this narrative that she makes out as if we were all in chat just bashing away.
Yes.
It's crazy.
That
It's
never happened.
no, never
I
fucking.
certainly have never been present in a chat where that happened.
Mm-mm.
Sure haven't.
No.
And I brought that. I'm not going to ever be, confronted by these people where I don't stand my ground, because I see things the way I see them based on what I have witnessed with my own senses. Right. And Amy is not a victim.
No.
Any
I
more
was
than I'm a
laughing at Cole's
victim
comment.
or you're a victim. You know what? Listen, and she
comes out
tried
with-
everything, Amber. And
What
Cole
now?
came in there. Cole's the real MVP, because I'm telling you what, he had Sally Ann was crying and had to take a pause and put a
No.
song on because of what Cole brought up in the chat about how she chose Noodle Mash and drama instead of her friend Trisha. And she was getting emotional. And
Oh,
yeah, so he's the real MVP.
dang.
And I wasn't hateful. I wasn't screaming. I didn't go up there and act like I was 12 and start screaming and hollering and playing the fool, because I think the second that you raise your voice when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody who is on opposite ends of a argument with you, you've lost.
Yeah.
Right.
Nowhere.
Like, that goes nowhere. When Amy did that to me when I was up on Granny Fanny's panel,
Yeah.
she looked so
Jesus.
foolish and so childish, and I don't carry myself like I'm 12, because I haven't been 12 in a long time. And if you can't sit and have a disagreement, like a debate with somebody and maintain your composure, I don't really see the point in even speaking with you about it, because I'm not going to let myself act like I'm a kid and start screaming at you where people are having to turn their volume down on their devices because, I mean, that's just, to me, it's childish. And you would think at our ages that wouldn't be somebody's go-to, and that is Amy's go-to.
Always.
And
especially if she knows like that you're about to kind of call her out and say, no, that's not how it happened, Amy. That, I mean, I've experienced it, when she came up on Jamie's panel that one time, I was ready to lay it all out and say, no, Amy, let's talk about how this really went down. She will just scream at the top of her lungs, overpower you, and then drop off.
Yeah, that's the night the night that, she ended up getting angry with me. She was actively on Retro's panel, and I was because Amber, the struggle. You and I were behind, the scenes, trying to be the middleman and trying to
Yes.
help Nikki and Amy. And I did that for over a month. And when I recognized that, okay, Amy, this is where you messed up because this is not factual, and I was very kind about it. She didn't drop down off Retro's panel and come and have a conversation with me and call me. She immediately went into my marriage, just ripped it. And I was like, what?
Right off the bat, she went there with you. And I think people forget that. Like, no, she right away, it was like she couldn't wait to start blasting stuff about you, blasting stuff about Siren. It was as if she was waiting for an excuse. You know what I mean?
Right.
The
And you have
second that you got on Nikki's panel, you had not even said anything bad or negative toward her. You were
Nope.
actually trying to play the peacemaker. But the second someone came in there and said, oh, he's on Nikki's panel, instantly she started to make threats to you. Because that's what, and that's another thing that just, I laugh at her. The way that she comes out here and acts like she's John Gotti and tries to give people ultimatums. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you're not intimidating. You sound foolish. Nobody is going to do what you want them to do because you said you better or else. That's I don't know.
Well, and think about it.
Something
You
to
know,
her, like, Amy, enough with the slander. This isn't true. Like, this shit needs to stop right now. Is that a threat? Oh my God, they're threatening me. Like, are you serious? Like, that's not.
But
well,
then
she
she'll see
also
people
was.
chatting and she'll attack our subs
Mm-hmm.
and like
Oh,
attack them
exactly.
like she's going to try to, like, the way that they're trying to go at excuse me out right now.
Right.
Why?
You're alone, man. Excuse it. Why? Because she likes us. That's
That's
because
exactly what it is.
right, because she has
Mm-hmm.
an opinion. So does that mean, can I just start cherry picking subs out of your chats, and say, you know what, you're a fucking dumbass for believing anything Amy says, because most of you are. But
Yeah, and I mean that happened in real time for people to see how calm I was. And I mean, all of those people over there say, Robbie just turned on her. I was like, no, this literally happened in real time in front of everybody. So everybody saw how it happened. And this is where I am okay with Nikki recording phone calls because she saw it a long time ago. She saw Amy's shit the way she treated me the first time we fell out. So she was recording those because of the fact that, think about it, how close I was to, well, am to Nikki and Amy. They knew everything that I would cry, vent to them about my marriage, what I was hurt about. She knew the things that hurt me, the things that were being done to me, and supported me through that and said, was very supportive. And I was the good guy in that situation. I was a victim. This is before anything happened like what happened last month. Literally, legally, I was a victim and still am. Okay. But all of a sudden, when that happened in real time, nope. The support is no longer. All of a sudden, I'm a demon. I deserve to be, cheated on and all these things. And I am a terrible person.
yeah, that's what she does. She takes things that she once supported you in and then completely flips it all around. I mean, hell, I used to be, such a good mom, and Amy was so proud of the things I've overcome in my life, you name it. And then we fall out and it's just the complete fucking opposite. And it's so fucking, but
Well,
the minute you
she,
say a word about her, like anything to do with her personal life, because she can mention yours, but if you make
mhm.
one remark about something about hers, she goes ape shit.
Oh, mine was all out there on the table that night. Immediately, I was like, "Whoa!" My Because look, I have not told YouTube every time that I have relapsed. That is something that has been a personal struggle for me in the past. That it just got tiring. I'm like, I'm tired of disappointing myself. Number one, but I'm just making a fool of myself every time I relapse and let people know. It's frustrating. I got annoyed with myself, so I would vent to my friends about it privately.
Yeah.
What happened that night was it went from, you can do this, just try again, Robbie, you got this, you're strong, you've done it before, to immediately flipping the switch to, I'm a junkie,
Yep.
what did she say that night? How many times does one person have to relapse in a year? I'm
See,
like, wow, thank you for that, Amy.
right. Because I mean, Robbie, you came to me like, oh God, it was a long time ago, and you had said, you were sorry for some of the things that you had said about me. We made up, and we started talking here and there, and then you had confided in me that you were struggling. That's something I would have
Yep.
never put out here ever,
Yep.
because
Never once did that come out anywhere.
no, I mean, it's just not something that you
Well,
last. I mean, especially
I
right
mean,
off the bat.
right. Honestly, Robbie knew about my domestic violence situation months ago. Okay. He didn't speak a word about it,
Nope.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they are that they think, I know what it is, that they are trying to get me to get triggered and react emotionally. That's not going to happen. They can sit there and make all the comments they want that, you know, that he should have hit me harder, which is what Amy said. I got Lufa/Wendy out here making I'm constantly tagging me and stuff, saying that my boyfriend needs to beat me up again, and I need to get a job at a gym so I can be the punching bag.
Fucking horrible.
And I brought that up. Because, you know, she's sitting here asking me, well, how can you be okay with this and that, which was non-existent things. Okay. Things that I know for a fact didn't happen, like the dragging of 5-year-olds or whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, well, okay, my turn. How are you okay? And why haven't you called your friends out for trying to use this against me as a weapon out here when I don't come out here and discuss my personal life?
Right.
How is that okay?
Scotty, what it is, from what I'm seeing, is it's also a control issue. Everybody on the other side of the fence wants to have the control, and when they know they don't have it, that's why they continue to do all this crap.
Yes, and she knows, Amy knows, and people, the internet's not going to know. They think they know. The first situation that happened before this last one, they know that there was a weapon confiscated that I could have been shot and killed with.
Good Lord.
And that's a joke to them. That's I'm a terrible person, you know, like all of that stuff, but they know the details of it. They know exactly what happened, and they're not correcting it. And I'm not going to correct it online because I'm not talking about that shit. They want me to, and I'm not going to.
That's exactly what they want. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of blown away. I mean, all this time it was how bad Robbie is, and look at what he says, and this and that and the other. But literally, you've been calm. You haven't been going at them, and they don't stop. Like, I mean, okay, and yeah, I'm gonna bring this fucking beast up, but you know, CJ yesterday had the nerve to say that I should have kept quiet. So in other words, you can drag me through the mud, you can keep restreaming my streams, make fucking hideous parodies, but God forbid I say a word about a person who I thought was a fucking friend that's a piece of shit. But, you know, the fact that she reviewed your movie, Robbie, like, you know, I just don't want to see her cry when you do have some things to say back, which, you know, I would love to see you make a movie, CJ.
Well, here's the thing about that. The movie was my story, but it was our movie. She's insulting everybody involved in it, number one. But number two, am I going to take the opinion of somebody who actually sat on panel and said, I watched your movie, Robbie, with me months and months ago and said, that was great. I'm glad you did something like that. Yeah. Am I going to take the opinion of an angry, bitter, jealous person? Or am I going to take the opinion of the hundreds of people that were in the chat guessing who the killer was, over 300 likes on that movie and people requesting a sequel? Which one am I going to take? Well, I'm going to go with what CJ said in her stream yesterday. I go with numbers. Well, so do I. And the numbers say your opinion don't fucking matter.
She's a piece of work.
I mean, I can't take CJ after the things that she did with TT and the way that she handled herself with that. I will never like CJ. Okay, I lost a niece in a house fire, and the things that she did on that stream where she was playing videos of people's that were saving their children from a fire, I will never like her, because to me, a heart that can do something like that, knowing that somebody has lost a child in that way, has no heart. Okay,
wait, what was
they have no heart.
But Sally Ann just said that to you this morning. Remember? Scotty, I was just listening to that part before I went live. She said, yeah, but you never go after a kid. And she basically what she was saying is you're friends with people that go after kids. Well, Sally
Mhm.
Ann, CJ literally was making a joke out of kids dying in a house fire. So
Yeah.
your point is moot.
And I remember,
Well,
okay, that
yeah. But listen, Sally, if you rewind that stream, she sat there and tried to say, I never talk about Amber's kids or Nikki's kids. In the stream that I had been listening to before I went on the panel, she was straight dragging Amber and Nikki's parenting and how they are with their children.
which you know fuck all about, bitch. Sorry.
Yep.
You know?
No, don't be sorry.
So
Real.
that is how delusional they are. How do you break through a mind
Right.
that is so delusional and so spoon-fed this narrative that they have forgotten that they were doing exactly what they're telling me they never did 15 minutes before I went on the panel? How do you get through that? You
Right.
know?
Well, and that's the dangerous part is these people, just like they go at me for Tiffany. Look, when they're sitting there saying that they're actively being abused or something, what do they expect people to do? So with them saying, we don't like CPS callers, we don't, well, then listen, you may not like that, but there might be some silent viewer as you're sitting there talking about Amber's parenting, trashing it nonstop, saying she's terrible. There might be a silent viewer you've never even heard of, spoke to, or that's listening that's like, I got to do something about this.
Right.
That's going to take your word for it. So if you don't
Right.
like that, don't fucking blame people for that shit and don't say they're actively, neglecting their kids or anything, because you're part of the problem.
How
Okay, and another thing that didn't make sense to me, I don't know if you caught this or Robbie, you got Tiffany in the chat and all of them saying, but well, you don't want
She
people
was
to
gone for
speak
2
about
days.
right.
yeah, about your DV, but yet you co-signed Robbie putting another DV survivor in danger. Talking about Tiffany, okay? The night that you called for the wellness check on her when she was
How was that
actively messaging you saying that she was being beat on.
Mm-hmm.
They brought up, well, you were in the chat saying no mercy. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was. Do you know why? I used the exact words that Tiffany had used a couple weeks before that when she was in TT's chat, where TT was doxing me, my boyfriend, saying that she wasn't going to stop. She was going to call my job and keep calling until I got fired. She was going to make sure I lost everything. You got Tiffany in the chat egging her on, saying, yeah, show that bitch no mercy. Hell yeah, that's exactly what I said. No mercy. Because I
Get to
am
that point.
I am a very easygoing person, but when you cross me in that manner, I can be the most cold-hearted person you'll ever meet in your life. I have nothing for Tiffany at this point except bad juju wishes for eternity. Okay. So I know how fake she is. I see her for the snake that she is. I don't believe a word that comes out of her mouth. I don't believe that man is abusing her. I don't believe anything she says about her situation, because somebody who is scared for their safety and their child's safety don't claim to leave and give this whole thing up to protect their family and come back 2 days later because they were so offended that I made a comment about Mander Lynn in Nikki's chat. Okay, if that's more important to you than the safety of your family, it took you 2 days to come back, sissy. I ain't buying it. I ain't buying nothing she's selling.
And how can you when okay, I got two things to say about Tiff here. How can you buy it when her story has constantly changed since the minute she got on this platform? I mean, one minute he's a gay abusive psychopath, the next he's amazing, loving, and don't know what she'd do without him, whatever. You know what I mean? And yes, she does message people behind the scenes and claim that she's being beaten. So honestly, if Robbie did call a wellness check because that's what she was claiming, well, wouldn't that be kind of saving her? But yes, in terms of
Well, I didn't do it vindictively or privately. I literally was on a panel and I was like, I'm dropping down. This is what I'm getting. I'm not tolerating this. It was no secret.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and and she is a cold snake. And I brought this up in one of my community posts today, but I didn't mention this at the time because frankly I didn't want to give it to her. And I didn't even want, I was upset. I was grieving. My grandmother just died. But the fact that she made a post and gave her condolences. Now, mind you, this is after, just the day before, she's posting videos, trolling me. She's gone at me for 2 years. She absolutely knows she's never been kind to me one bit. And then she makes a whole ass post giving her condolences. Bitch, you didn't care. What you wanted me to do was either to have feelings of anger because you had the audacity to make that post, which it did, but you also wanted me to react to it so that you could say, look, this is what I get for being decent. See, Amber's just a cunt. I know your games. And that was a shit thing to do. I'm sorry, but when it's somebody that you're enemies with and they've had a loss or something, in my opinion, being fake is one of the worst things you can do. Like, you know what I do whenever somebody out here that I'm not, that I'm enemies with, if they've had a loss or whatever, I do nothing. That's what I do. I do nothing. I don't mention them for a while. I just let them, let them be. But I'm not going to come out and be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Because, that's, do y'all know what I'm saying? That is just
Yeah.
a horrible fucking, like, okay, I remember, and like when people die on here and people that have done nothing but go with them make posts, oh, I'm so sorry to hear this. No, you're not. Don't
Mm-mm.
fucking be fake. Don't be
Yeah.
fucking fake. That was nothing but, she knew all that was going to do was make me fucking livid. And it did. But I didn't want to show it that day because if you really cared, you would have realized I wouldn't have wanted to give you a single fucking thought that day. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I said the same thing about AJ, because when AJ has been like kind and just like a decent, like kind human being through my situation, I even said immediately when this happened, you know, I'm grateful for that because I know that if I would not have hit a wall, got arrested, hit rock bottom, if I would have seen something like what happened to me happen to AJ, I wouldn't have showed her the same mercy. Like it took me having this to happen to be like, oh shit, dude, like people actually have feelings and people can actually be human. So that's why I'm thankful what happened to me, because I would have in the past been like, haha, fuck you, but it
Right.
took me having to learn like, shit, man, it hurts.
Yeah. But yeah, it disgusted me when she did that. I just felt like, don't. Just fucking don't.
Yeah. I remember us talking about it and I was like, yeah, just,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even mention it or anything because I seen what she was doing. She was virtue signaling and it's like, you don't
Right.
care. You don't care that Amber's in pain right now. You don't care that she just lost someone she loved. You're being incredibly fake. Like, stop it.
Right.
And I can be very mean and very vindictive to people that
Me too.
I see are like that. And that is one of my character flaws. But it serves me well in this community because people don't know what to think when you can come at them and be arguing with them and not raise your voice and remain calm. They start stuttering or they just start screaming and
That's a
jump off the
superpower.
panel. It
Right.
is out here. It's like I've got this secret little power. I got to get this dog off me. Hang on. This puppy has
Aw.
grown by
May
leaps
I
and
politely
bounds.
interrupt for 1 minute?
Oh, Miss
May I,
P,
Yeah,
fuck
honey.
off. Just kidding.
I love you too. I wanted to send you my condolences also, Amber.
Oh,
My
you did. Thank you.
husband just had a death in his family. His second brother out of 3 passed away Thursday night after being on life support for a month.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and again, my husband's family also comes from a long line of drug addiction and alcohol issues, and that's basically why he ended up in the hospital. And So again, he ended up passing away Thursday night. So, but again, after hearing your story about your grandmother, my condolences to you, and I am also sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you. But
And
Yeah,
no,
I'm sorry,
and
Amber.
no, I
I
love
don't
you,
remember if I
Amber.
messaged you about that or not, but
you were going through some
I,
stuff. I think you did say something to me though. So
that was around the time Siren was here, right?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
But
Yeah.
again, Amber, no, I love you, pretty lady. And hey, Siren.
Hi.
Oh, thank you. Look at Nuggy.
It was so cute.
That
And I
dog. Oh
also
my
love
god.
you too, Scotty. Just wanted to say that.
I love you too, Miss P.
Siren,
Yeah,
I was
it was
saying,
fun. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I need to finish watching that. I was watching on the 2 times speed. If you have YouTube Premium right now, they let you watch on 4 times speed, but that's like really fast. But yeah, if you guys have it, it's like a free feature. So I tried that and I was like, okay, I need to slow it down. So I need to finish like the end of it. But I was even writing in my notepad. I was like, okay, nope, that's a contradiction. That's a contradiction.
Okay, stating that, Robbie, I do have one small favor I need to ask is the next time that you speak with Miss Nikki, would you ask her kindly to kind of help cut back on her ads? Because every night I listen to you guys when I'm going to bed at night, and I have to keep, looking at my phone and skipping the ad to go back to her live. And it gets kind of old.
She got to make that shmoney.
Right, she gotta make that money, honey. If she's,
Oh, I know.
hey, she's not getting all this abuse for free. That's what I always say.
Yep, exactly. But if you
And
like it, then you
that's
better
the
slap an
biggest thing
ad
too
on
that
it.
upsets me
There
is,
you go.
like Nikki and everybody else in this world, we all have issues of one thing or another in our life. The mental and emotional abuse just needs to stop. Why can't people get the hint to just knock it off?
Well, and it won't,
You know what
though.
though? None
That,
of us have not mental issues like Lufa does. I'm
No.
gonna say
oh,
it right here and right now. That is the craziest bitch I've ever met in my life.
Mhm.
I mean, she is legit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, y'all. And there ain't no fixing that.
Yeah.
None. No, you can't fix that kind of broken. She is crazy. Why is she like that, you guys?
I don't know
Would
because listen,
Would you like to know? Would you like to know?
Yes.
you have
Yes, Siren, please give me your knowledge. I need tips on how to deal with this woman.
Okay. Her crazy goes a long way back. But when I first came in the community, Lufa was already attached to the community in Tend to Life's community, in Annie Elise's community, and she was already having issues with that girl, and she blew up with her, but all of us kind of made our way over to Robbie's community. She did, I did, and so
oh, she was in it during Watts way before that.
Oh yeah, because listen,
Yeah.
I can find live streams on. There's some live streams on some channels, y'all. This is literally like 5 years ago. I'm on panel with Lufa, and she is nice. She's sweet. Like Lufa used to be like people really enjoyed her. She wasn't like what she is now.
yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
Well,
she
and also, one thing that bugs me about that is she doesn't correct, she flips very quickly too. But, she'll go over with like in support of video of Space Monster saying, my mom is fake. When Lufa literally has had a personal relationship on the phone with my mom, has mailed them stuff at their home and shit, and won't correct that shit. But I'm a troll account of my mom.
Yep. Well, she, in the process of everything, she had a blow up with that girl, and that's why that girl and Lufa both left Annie Elise's community, and Lufa wound up rolling around to Robbie's community, and I wound up with Robbie's community just because I liked Robbie, so, and there's no reason why I have to not be in both communities. So anyway, well, as time went on, with the whole thing with Robbie's picture of Glarer and how he saw it blew up, and in the process of all that, AJ started attacking, finding Lufa in the places where she was hanging out and going after her. And Lufa started blaming me for that. And the first time AJ found her and attacked her, she
Well, I don't
didn't
think she
blame
was a
me.
saint to AJ either, though, probably. Because she
Probably not.
Yeah, you know her mouth. Not
Yeah.
AJ, but Lufa.
Right.
Yeah, but the first time AJ found her, she didn't. But the second time, Robbie was a panel where Space and AJ were attacking Robbie, and Robbie messaged me asking me nicely to see about going to say something in there. And he also messaged Lufa. So we both went in there and they went after Lufa pretty hard. And in that process, she decided to start blaming me for them going after her. And the next time Natasha streamed, we both went in there, and Lufa started attacking me out of the blue for no reason. And I was quite surprised because we were pretty good friends at that moment, and I didn't understand why she was suddenly going after me. And from that moment on, she decided to make all of our friends in common choose whether or not they would be friends with her or friends with me. And every one of them, because she was forcing that choice, chose to be friends with me, except for Christola and Robbie, who both refused to choose because they said, fuck that, we're not going to. And because they both refused to choose, she turned on both of them. And ever since that point, anyone who was who had anything to do with me, she has gone crazy on and has decided was evil. So she has based every choice in her life about whether or not they had anything to do with me, and they have been evil. She's accused people of being guilty of SA, being
I'm so tired of
child
the
abuser.
P word. Just the P word, P word,
P
P
word.
supporter, P word.
Yep. So
Still annoying.
if you have anything to do with me, you are suddenly evil. That is her choice in life to make, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just what it is. So,
yeah.
And you know, that makes sense because she started changing up toward me when I became friends with Robbie. And she was coming to me like, you don't understand. He's going to hurt you. He'll do things to destroy you. And I'm like, well, I will
if
take
I could
your
do things to
advice
destroy
into
people,
consideration.
yeah,
But
these people
I'm
wouldn't
going
be
to
on the
stay
internet if I
friends with
had that
him.
power.
Right. But that's when she started kind of changing up toward me. But everything that you're saying your experience was with her, so was mine. I was a very good friend to her. I mean, she had my actual number. I don't give my number out to very many people, you know. And I regretted giving it to her because it was constant trauma dumping on me. When I was having my own crazy life going on, you know, I didn't always have an hour out of my day to sit and listen to Lufa.
Oh, good God.
You know, and her emotional roller coaster. You guys know how she can be. Everything is always so urgent and tragic and final, you know, like, and it was just a daily roller coaster with her. But I loved Lufa, you know, like I truly cared about that woman and wanted to help her, wanted to be like someone who she could count on to answer the phone. And the way that she did me was really dirty. And it was just, I saw it coming, right? So I kind of distanced myself from her, but she kept trying to push me. She kept making these passive aggressive posts that everybody in the community knew was toward me, even if she didn't say my name. And then finally she came in my chat one day and started going at me sideways over, of all people, American Dream. Okay. Wanted to know why I hadn't confronted Dream or tried to do an intervention with him about his alcoholism. Are you serious right now?
Her business, you know, like.
Well, I mean, have you guys seen Dream? He's
Yeah.
American Dream is the clip that
Crazy.
Lycan uses where he says, "This is a party channel. We don't talk about dumb shit here," with the full Indian headdress on. You know, I mean, what
Right.
did what in the world am I going to say to Dream to make him stop being Dream?
Right.
Nothing.
You can't. It's just going to piss someone off if you try to tell them what to do.
Right.
Well, and
Right.
Smiley, that is exactly right. Like, she, when it came to me, she started hyper focusing on Lycan, which, you know, very well could have been because Siren was there as well. And it was just all of a sudden she was relentless, and it got to the point, you know, I asked her to stop. It was clear she wasn't going to stop. So then it just got to the point where I said, okay, look, you're not going to stop. You can call me whatever you want, but please stop mentioning my daughter. Like, can you just do that? She wouldn't fucking do it. She would never fucking do it. You know, now I will say I'm glad she gave that apology the other day about, you know, her threat to me. But then she goes on to say this, that she was threatened to never see her grandson again. That didn't happen. That didn't fucking happen. Not by me. And I certainly didn't harass you for 5 days like you said either. So, I mean, you know, then she says that I make fun of people with disabilities and she doesn't. And well, she forgot that very same day she made a post and put Nikki's face on somebody in the Special Olympics and literally said, if you win a fight on the internet, you're still a tard. It's like the Special Olympics. So that didn't go over well. Like, I mean,
I also saw she made a post that she had given Granny Fanny the card to be able to call anybody he wanted the R word, because she was that word, and she had given him a card. He had permission to call people that now. I was like, that just sounds so ignorant.
Kidding me?
No, I'm not.
It makes me question everything she ever raised hell about, because I mean, just like her stuff about you know, using racial slurs and whatnot, and she was a woman of color. Well, I mean, you know, she's seen the way that Amy talks in private. That didn't seem to bother her. And you know, it's funny. I found a screenshot the other day. She was actually the very first. I don't know if she was the first, but she quote unquote doxed Amy's stepdad. Like, literally was putting up community posts of links to him and whatnot. And I remember at the time, you know, I was friends with Amy and I was like, what the fuck? This is messed up. Amy didn't care. She literally didn't care. She was like, I don't care. I'm like, okay. But yeah, funny how we forget.
What Becca said about like, if you think a crime's being committed, then report it. See, that's where there's a huge problem, is because then if you truly do think there's a crime being committed, which 9 times out of 10 there's not, it's just people talking out of their ass, then you're a real lifer. And it's like, you cannot win.
No.
So the people that accuse people of stuff like that, that's where the problem begins, because, like, I agree, if you really did think that, you wouldn't be talking about it. You would, you know, put your money where your mouth is. But then when you do, then people are like, oh my God, look, they called the cops. It's like, you threatened to, like, murder me, or, you know, whatever it is. Like, they expect you not to report something. Hang on one sec.
But yeah, it's just wild out here.
So yeah.
Wow. I tell you guys flat out, when you mention the R word, that is the worst word that will highly offend me. And that's my pet peeve, is anyone that comes at me with that word. I had to really take a hard hold of my own tongue.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest word that I find extremely offensive.
Well, I'll tell
Well,
you.
yeah, it's all about intent because that word was in my vocabulary as a kid. Like people said that all the time, but
Mhm.
we would never
Right.
say that to kids like in special ed. We
No.
just use it as like a,
Exactly. And
yeah,
again, for me, as you know, Robbie, you have all my old medical documentation. Now, when I was young, they actually had to use that term for medical purposes because of all the medical diagnoses I've had.
yeah,
Right.
So again,
yeah.
if you want to use it under a medical reason, that's one thing. But to use it as an offense, sorry, don't buy it.
No. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. I mean, the stream they did, I think it was last weekend. I mean, if anybody was okay with that stream, I just don't even know what the fuck to say. I mean, they were over the top with everything. I mean, it was, of course, it was like an hour of zooming into my crotch, which is cringe as fuck, considering it was a grown ass man that has daughters
I
doing
saw
that.
that. That was so gross. I
So
am
gross.
sorry, Amber.
And
That
then
was just disgusting.
it, I mean, it's fucking wrong. And then, they were slandering Jax, making all kinds of threats, talking about everybody's kids, everybody's parenting. I mean, the whole thing was just disgusting. And I did get some messages the next day from some folks that were like, "Yeah, no more. Like I can't support these people anymore." So yeah. Oh, and the
Well,
mocking of people's, addictions, trying to tell our stories, making
Mm-hmm.
up
yeah,
shit,
they're still throwing at me, Amber, the fact that my husband and I, we lost our son, 20 some years ago when he was 9 months old to the state, but yet we still have phone contact with him and so forth. But people keep throwing at me that I will never be a true parent and that my son is in a better place because at least he won't be hurt. I never once ever tried to hurt my own child. He was taken away from the two of us for medical reasons. And people still to this day don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and back at you, that's kind of like also because I already know when people hear me talking about what I was talking about in the beginning, or just saying you don't push somebody to the point and then not expect a reaction. I already know what people are going to say. They're say, "Oh my God, do you hear that?" He could sit there and say that these people are doing this, but he won't do this. It's like, no, I'm saying nobody should do it on either end. You have to understand when you push somebody's buttons, it's not okay for that person to go back. But I mean, what do you expect? So shit has to stop on all ends. You can't sit there, just like I was saying at the beginning, and protest something, but then go against what you're protesting.
Right. I mean, that's how this whole thing fucking started. Was I mean, if we really think about this, Robbie, because we were friends with Amy and Nikki. I mean, if thinking back, I mean, how surreal is it that Amy made a whole ass fucking ordeal out of questioning who she said was her best friend about something so fucking personal that she didn't have the balls to go to Nikki in private and say, "Hey, look, just I need clarification because I was kind of confused about what you said the other night." She couldn't do that. She had to make a whole fucking production out of it. And I'm sorry, but it's like it's fucking tacky and wrong on all levels to sit there and just question somebody about something that happened to him personally. I mean, I told her, I was like, this is something you either got to, go to her in private or just let it go. I mean, let it the fuck go. Is it going to change your life? I mean, what, you know what I mean? Like, why do you have to know these things anyway? I mean, we know something happened. So do the details, is it going to keep you up at night? I don't.
Well, and if that doesn't tell you something, uh, you know, so like you said, she's a very good friends. Nikki, whether what she confided in her or not. So you have that being used against her. Then you have everything in real time as she's on Retro's panel, completely flipping on me everything I confided in her. Do
Mhm.
people not recognize that if they're opening up to her and they're defending her as their really close friend, that it doesn't matter how close she is, because Nikki and I were, and Amber were the closest.
Mhm.
It doesn't get closer than we were. So if you're confiding in anything, but you do disagree, just it's a heads up. Just be careful, because you're going to see how we feel, and it's going to be used against you.
Well, what's funny is every single one of them last year, Amber, if you're stupid to ever trust this girl again, because she, couldn't keep her mouth shut. Because, I mean, hello, look at how that all started with me and her. I confided in her with some things when I got back from that trip, and she just could not keep it to her fucking self. So, I mean, yeah, just be fucking careful with what you're telling her.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Nikki.
Hi.
Hey, I didn't even know.
Hey.
Sorry. Hello. Um, I was just listening to you, Amber, about talking to Amy. I've never had this conversation with Amy,
Right.
like ever. So she doesn't know anything.
Right.
I showed a newspaper article. That's it. And that was it. Like, I've never had this conversation with her. So
Right. But she didn't even want to try to,
Mm-mm.
Instead, let's go run to some
Hey,
enemies
look at my, hey,
and
Rachel.
fucking think of it.
No, I listen. I'm just the fact that this was even brought up by Amy when she ran. Yeah, that was, and it's mind numbing to me that any of them can sit, because I listened to a small bit of Solid State just where Scotty was on. The fact that they are confused or complaining that I'm as angry as I am and I continue to talk about her is mind numbing to me.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not understand after everything she did to me? And continues to do. She's literally trying to turn herself into the victim, and all of them are completely ignoring the things that she has said and done, not only to me, but
Mm-hmm.
countless others. And then to Scotty today with some bullshit that went over there today when Sally Ann did what she did. That was disgusting. That was fucking disgusting. That was opportunistic. And that was for Sally Ann. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. I don't know if you heard my recording yet, Scotty, but Sally Ann sat over there, and when Scotty went over there to have a conversation with her, no aggression, no hostility, nothing. She went up to have a civilized conversation. Sally Ann, on a fucking live stream with no preparation, no warning, nothing, decides that she's going to interrogate Scotty about DV.
What?
And her personal situation. Oh, yeah, she did. You know what else she said?
What?
Sally Ann said that there's no reason why a woman should stay in a relationship like that these days. Now,
But there's Tiffany.
None of her fucking business.
Okay, go look at the statistics.
Yeah,
number one.
they were shaming me.
Yeah, there's
not
1,500 women a year. I think it's around that are killed in DV situations. It's like 1 in 3 or 1 in 5 or something like that. Women will experience it, and she's over there talking about. She said that. She said there's no reason for Scotty to stay. I mean, I'm disgusted. Sorry, Scotty. Okay.
It's okay. I was just like, and she kept trying to press me to speak on it until it got to the point where I had to be very clear. I don't want to talk about this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done speaking on this. You need to understand that this is my life. I'm not discussing my life with you.
Right.
You know,
and how that came about was because, of course, Sally Ann is blaming me and everybody else for everything that they think we've done. But so Scotty said, well, what about Amy when she said XYZ? Amy fucking denied it from the chat, and not one person in that chat said, no, Amy, you did say that. Not one of them.
Wow. So she flat out denied saying what she said to you, Scotty, about how she
Yep.
Yeah.
And I called her out on it. Listen, I called him out on a lot of things.
I gotta watch
stream today. We should listen to it for real. I mean, you'll be proud of me. Like, I held my own with them.
I would play it, but Sally Ann's in her copyright pissed off mode right now. She'll strike. Yeah. Plus, she wants to get me back because I struck her a long time ago. She's been waiting for that day.
I'll have to clip it and
Mhm.
It was foul. The woman was fucking shameless. It was disgusting that she would say what she said and like call Scotty out, not, to totally disregard what Amy said, which was fucking disgusting. And Lufa. And then look at Scotty and act like it's somehow her fault. Like, well, why do you stay?
You know what's
And she actually made a comment about how in today's day and age or whatever she said. I was disgusted. And I just thought, really? Oh, okay. That's
you know
nice.
what's interesting about that is I remember when people were talking about Kim and Crafton's situation, how high and mighty she got about that, saying how it's nobody's business to talk about. I mean, literally ripped apart anybody that was bringing that up, right? And but it's okay for her to say things like that about Scotty, right? What's also funny is as soon as Amy was all on their side about their personal life, it's their personal life, what have you. As soon as like Granny's watching's subs expressed their dislike for Kim and Crafton, it was, oh, I didn't know, like, then she just quit supporting them.
Mhm.
So it's just amazing how her morals and what she thinks changes just like that.
Well, and that's why earlier when I was listening to Scotty on Sally Ann's panel, when Sally Ann said, and Nikki, but she goes live every day. Well, first of all, Sally Ann, that shouldn't affect you because this is Nikki's story. And like I said over and over on this live stream, if Nikki wants to picket in the streets about it and fucking protest, she can. Because what you're doing is saying, something didn't happen to her and you're making fun of it and you're bashing her for it when you don't know the details. So if she wants to go live 24 hours a day, that's her right because she's standing up for herself.
I used to go live every single night 6 years ago. Nobody said a fucking word because everybody else did it. Queen Bee's live probably more hours
Mm-hmm.
But
every
it
week
wouldn't
now.
matter.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like
this is
my
your fucking story.
Well, and how the fuck often do you talk about damn Sally? Hardly
I
ever.
Never.
don't.
Hardly ever. Like,
And
we'll
here's the
hardly ever
thing.
mention the fucking weirdo.
That's the thing is because when it happened, Tiffany never said that she didn't believe me. Tiffany said I was weaponizing my story. That was the argument, which happened to be happening during the same period of time that Amy dropped off my panel because her feelings were dismissed. So she ran to Tiffany, and she's the one that she started all of this because she said, Nikki's lying and I have the proof. I saw the screenshot. That's what she said. So that's what started everything. Okay. And I don't care. I'll say it publicly here. I really don't give a fuck what any one of them have to say about me going live every night and not shutting up about Amy. I won't. I'll shut up when I fucking feel like it. I'll shut up when she starts telling the truth. I'll
Yeah.
shut up when they start calling her out for her bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I'll shut up. But until then, fuck, I don't care. I will go live every night for hours and hours and hours. If Sally Ann doesn't like it, she can fuck off.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Hey, Nikki,
Hey,
I want you to know, please, for my sake, don't you ever stay quiet because I listen to you when I go to bed at night, and when you're not live, it drives me bonkers.
I know she'll always text me, is Nikki going live yet? And if she's on the phone with me, Nikki, she'll be like, Nikki went live. We have to go.
Aw.
I'm not tuning into their devices and turning myself on in their fucking ears.
They
Okay, if
don't
you
have
don't want to listen to it, fuck off. Don't listen to it.
Yeah, they don't have to.
Exactly.
I mean,
It's like the old saying is if you're watching a TV show on TV and you don't like what you're watching, change the channel. It's that simple.
Yeah,
yeah.
like I don't know why they're all watching me for. And then they every time they listen, they got something to say. Well, like I said, when you stop that bitch from lying, then I'll probably have nothing to talk about when it comes to any of you. But
Hmm.
they
See?
sat there today and they dead ass, not one of them in that chat said to Amy, wait, you did say that. You
Right.
fucking
See,
absolutely,
that's
because
the same
she
problem
left it
I'm
up there
having,
for
Nikki.
days.
I'm having the same problem as everyone's always constantly accusing me of lying about this, that, and everything else. Like, you know what? If I am lying, then, it's my lie. But again, I stand on what I believe in myself of what the truth is and the truth that I stand on. And nobody should be accusing anybody of lying.
Yeah, Rachel,
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. No, I mean, when the first time that Amy and I fell out, she did a whole deep dive on the family I married into.
Mhm.
And
Yes, I saw that comment by
it
Rachel.
was none of her business at all. She dropped it in Lycan's mod chat. She shared it with numerous people, including Siren, Nikki, many people. And it's like, what was the point of that?
I
It
wasn't
was
even in
because my
Lincoln's
it was
mod chat.
because there was a fundraiser for the friend that just passed away. What was it? A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Who had cancer. He was at our wedding. Amy met him in person. He was dying of cancer at our wedding. His husband was there with him. Um, Yet she caused a scene with that. And because we did a fundraiser for him. And the big scandal was we used a different last name for my husband. We used mine because I didn't want to dox my husband. So I was like, no, if I'm going to share this on YouTube, just use my last name. You know, we're married, whatever.
Technically, he's
And that
allowed.
was fraud. It's a scandal. It's like, no, bitch, we did that to protect ourselves from people like you who
Right.
dox
Wait a
people and
minute.
dig into people.
Hold on. Didn't you post that fundraiser?
Yes.
So you're not hiding.
No, and the reason I said don't use your actual name, just put my last name because of people like her that will sit there and spread around. But you don't need to use a false last name because Amy will find you.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
that's true.
will. She'll find everything about you and your family. Absolutely. And she will drop it in chats, like big chats like that, you know?
Well, she said so today. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to this again because it
Yeah,
pissed
they
me off.
have kids too, by the way. I'm sorry, Nikki.
They
The guy that died.
Yes, they have two or three, right?
They have two, and now they're left with the one, the one parent that's left living.
Yeah. But on the panel when Scotty went up there, like I said, she was just calm. She wanted to have this a conversation, and so she did. And then you know, Amy again tried to attack. Well, she really did. They did attack Scotty. Okay, they had no shame at all. Even though Sally Ann was talking about this very serious issue, they fucking went at Scotty, and then Amy tried to make herself the victim. That's what I have a problem with because this, you can't look.
She sure
take
did.
it
And she straight lied on me, saying I never said anything about her husband when I posted those pictures of her.
No,
I used reface and was joking. Like she flat out lied.
no one's even said that about that picture because yeah, you're right. I forgot about that where she said something about they posted this photo of her from surgery. No, Amy, nobody listen. That never happened. She's been saying that. Siren, I'm sure you remember when in my chat that very first time that those pictures came out, and Bill said that is not from her husband. Those were his exact words. I have the chat. It was in September. Bill specifically said that because he knew people would probably say that because, the way that it was zoomed in. And I know that it was at the beginning of September because her and I were still talking. We were fighting still, but we were still in contact with each other. And she messaged me the original photo, and I had never seen it before. She swears that she sent it to me before I didn't see it. And she said it was at the dentist. But that's how long ago that was. And no one said that that picture was from her husband. No one said that.
I mean,
And
is
she can't
anybody
show a screenshot that she can't prove that anybody did because it never, not in my chat, it didn't.
No, well, and okay, a lot of things she goes on about with this fucking picture. Like I saw her the other day say, Amber passed it around like candy. No, the fuck I didn't, Amy. In fact, I passed it one place. Okay, I've said this over and over again. When you were relentless and you kept on putting up anything private you had of me, myself, and at the time, Jamie, you were putting up any images you had. You were putting up anything you fucking had on a lot of people. We finally had we fucking had enough. That was it. And it was like, I had that picture because Jessica with a K had passed it around prior. So that's how I got it. Okay. So that's
She
where
says
the
she
image
sent it to
first
you.
appeared. No, Amy never sent that to me.
But I know.
Go find that, Amy, because no, you didn't. Jessica with a K did. That's where I first saw that. Okay. Then that image first appeared on the stream where on the expose that we did of Amy. That's where that appeared. That's why it was with that clip that got reposted, because she keeps lying about the fact that she said she called CPS. Okay. But again, it's unbelievable to me that they call us weak and victims, this, that, and the other. How long have we heard Amy go on about this fucking picture?
Listen, the story today was I got that picture from you
My
and
God.
put out a video saying that her husband had busted her lip open. I'm like, what are you talking about? That is a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
You're lying. I did call her out on quite a few of her bullshit stories today. I did manage to get that done.
Good.
And I'm not going to sit there and act like, like she said something about how Nikki has went live for 182 days and dragged her and her children and her. I called her out on that. No. And
No,
and
you
then
did. Yeah, her grandchildren. Yeah.
yeah. And then Sally said something about how, well, Nikki goes live every night. And I'm like, well, how is that any different than what Amy does? And well, Amy doesn't go live that much. I'm like, Amy is, she hops from panel to panel. And I even brought up, I was like, there was one week I don't think she slept, because I know for like days straight, she was on every single panel.
Yep.
From dusk till dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up the next morning. Yeah, went to sleep, woke up the next day, 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning. She's up on Space Monsters panel, still going. Talking the same things over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I've never seen Nikki do 24 to 48 hours on live streams.
No.
Constantly talking about Robbie and you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see where how do they not see this?
And not only that,
is obsessive about it, it's Amy. Give me a break.
And not only that, but the week that she was doing that, I mean, because everybody noticed it, they were like, dear Lord, this woman has not stopped. And that was the week that she was going on saying that, that she was going to email my mother, and made the claim that Amber just won't stop. Amber just won't stop. Amber won't stop. And I wasn't doing fucking shit. To this day, the only thing I fucking do is wake up and say, what kind of fucking bullshit do I gotta fucking defend myself on today? And that's what I do. Like, that's so, Amy, if you are such a victim and you want this all to stop because it's so bad on you, fine, try it. Shut up. Shut up about me. Shut up about Nikki and Robbie. Like, just try it, because I promise you we don't have to talk about you. I'll be damned.
Amber, that's another problem on the YouTube streets, is every time any of us, especially me, I feel like I'm having to constantly defend myself every day because of the shit that's still being said about me. But every time I try to politely defend myself, as Robbie well knows, and Siren, that everybody still to this day gets pretty much really upset with me. And I thought,
who's doing this to you?
Several people, Nikki.
I don't know if you've seen, we won't say names, but
yeah,
calm down.
Someone's piping up.
I'm gonna mute because she's just.
I was threatened again yesterday and harassed, and I'm still being bullied, and I won't say by who. But again, every time I try to be a lady now, being a new year, I am trying to keep my temper in better check. But again, when somebody comes at me and says, well, oh, Miss P is lying and saying A, B, C, and D, it's like, you know what? I'm trying to stand up for myself. Don't I have that right?
Yeah, but just be careful.
When you come in, I know, and I get
be
that,
careful,
Robbie,
because I think, yeah, I think what people's mission is to get you to say something that could possibly get you in trouble. So
I understand that, but again, I'm just saying, isn't it my full right though to be able to defend myself in
Well,
whatever
I
is
mean,
coming
the
It
at
thing
is,
is,
but
me?
though, Mrs.
sometimes if it's
P,
going to get you in trouble, it's
listen,
not worth it.
the court has intervened with that. So, no, you don't have as much rights as the rest of us do to be as open about certain things as you would want to be. And you need to keep that in
Unfortunately.
your mind. And that's,
Mhm.
Right.
that's
But the thing
because
is,
of that. Because I don't want to see you go back to jail. I don't
right,
want to
I
see
Mhm.
your
don't either.
life
But
affected
again,
over that.
my legal probation ended back in January, so there's really nothing that anyone can really say that I can or cannot say, or what I can and cannot do. But I still have
No,
a
I think she
lifelong
was.
order against me.
Yeah, I think that's what she was referring to. Those conditions.
Mm.
Well, again, the
Yeah.
lifelong order only proceeds to the point where I can no longer go anywhere near the area that we moved up here from.
Right. And make sure you don't like address that person, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But again,
Mhm.
I'm just saying, isn't it my right though to where I should be able to defend myself when I'm being accused of
Well,
A, B, C, and D? I mean,
you should, but there's like just like with mine, a lot of people have tried to bait me to, and I think they purposely will say things that aren't true so that I'd be like, that's not true. This is how it happened, because they want to bait me into talking about stuff, and it's not going to happen, because unfortunately, as much as you want to defend yourself and you want to tell the truth of what happened, there's like a legal in writing saying, no, do not do that. You
Mhm.
cannot do that. And it sucks.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
unfair, but unfortunately, with restraining orders, it's one way. And years ago,
It's not a restraining order, it's a stalking order.
which is even worse.
Well,
So in that case, like for example, I had a boyfriend years ago when I got in trouble, and he had a restraining order, but he was coming to my house, and I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna call the cops on you." And so when I called the cops and told them, they're like, "Unfortunately, he can show up at your front door and call the police on you if he wanted to, and you would go to jail." I'm like, "What?" So they're
Wow.
not fair. It's
See,
not.
the only other restraints I have on me legal wise is I am not allowed to contact the other party like via email, phone, regular mail, whatever. That's the only restraints that I have against me. Other than that, I am back to having my so-called freedom because again, all I want to do is just be honest with everybody. And when I'm being accused again of A, B, C, and D, it's like, no, here
Yeah,
is my truth. Here is how I see it. And I stand on that. And that's all I'm going to just basically say is I should have the right to stand on my truth.
yeah.
well, and try
Just
to
be
keep in
careful.
mind too, just like with Robbie, them wanting him to respond in a particular way. Some probably want you to do that, so
Mm-hmm.
just don't give it to him.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Because
Exactly.
look at what Nikki's been going through for is it 182 days, Nikki?
82
183.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She, no
that's
matter
a
how
fucking
much
lie.
she talks about her story, which she knows about, nobody else does.
Right.
There's
You
it's
guys,
not going to
Robbie,
matter how much truth you give
You
them.
and Amber heard my mother on the phone. That was
Mhm.
Yeah.
literally not planned. But
That,
It,
that
you're
I
not going
actually
to
heard your
convince
live.
these
like,
I
people.
actually heard your live too, Nikki. Because again, I listen to you every night like clockwork. On
no, I was referring to. I was on the phone.
Nikki, she wants to fuck.
Who?
Miss
Miss
P,
P?
she watches you every night.
Oh, fuck off.
Robbie,
Chicken wow wow.
No,
Robbie.
but no, I was talking to Robbie and Amber on Messenger, and my mom called my phone, and I thought, why not ask her? And they heard
mhm.
everything that my mother actually remembers more details, like I guess from a mother's perspective, but about anyways, who cares? Anyways,
Amber,
it was
she's lying. She's lying. That didn't
it's
happen.
it wasn't 182 days, and I can prove it because I did take a few days off, and Tiffany messaged me, and her dog messaged me Both
Well,
of them messaged me. Teddy messaged me. I have the fucking screenshots.
well,
And
not
so
only
did
Nikki,
Tiffany.
did you hear the part where she was like, and you guys were picking hookers' pictures apart, and why did you say anything about
Oh,
their
please.
children? And I'm like, oh, you mean the same Mander that had made a post out of nowhere tagging Nikki in it, speaking about me that was absolutely none of her business, and out of the blue, she wasn't involved. No one was speaking on her. That Mander? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that she asked for our attention, so we just gave her a little bit.
Well,
You know
Yeah,
what
the
I mean?
same
It's
Mander. Yeah, that bitch.
yeah,
That thing.
that one.
Yeah,
Well, no,
that one
yeah.
that's
What
friends
was
with
it she
Amy
said?
now.
Yeah. There were
Because
no
I said
what's given. Didn't she say no
no
fucks given?
outrage.
Is that what she
No,
said? Yeah.
yeah, nobody.
So
Why? Nobody cares about what Scotty's going through. That's what she said, and she also said that all the outrage went out the door since we killed this community. After you, Robbie, apparently said what you said about SA, as far as Mander and Hooker and all, whatever. And I was thinking, okay, but Amy was fucking buddies with Robbie when that happened, and she was encouraging him just as
She
much.
was on panel with me one night.
Yeah, so you guys, but she's
I-
now your best friend. No, fuck you guys, and fuck your victim card.
Well, and not
Well-
only that, but okay, hang on a second. So she had the nerve to say that people said things about her picture. Oh, well, that's funny because every time I've seen Wendy make a post using my picture, saying things about the way I look, guess who's under there making comments? Hooker.
Yeah.
Hooker.
I mean, who cares?
Who,
And
who I
listen,
never fucking did a fucking motherfucking thing to, but she wants to claim my teeth are fake. They're not. If they were fake, they would look a lot more perfect. Okay, that's just the facts. But what did they do with Nikki's picture? Like, didn't they all just go nuts over her picture?
Yeah.
Haven't they said things about the way I look, about the way
my
Robbie looks?
mugshot.
Yeah.
About the way
they
everybody fucking
take the
looks?
piss. Yeah, they take the piss out of all of our pictures. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So get the
I
fuck
think
out.
it's funny because I could care less. I don't want to go to bed with any of those people, and I never
Hell no.
will. So why do I care what they think I look like?
Right.
As long as my man is okay with it, why? They're ridiculous.
for God's sake.
Obviously,
Amber and
they're
I
the
can't
ones
even
that care,
dance together without
right?
being like picked to pieces.
I know.
Mhm.
Oh, and now, okay, for 2 days straight, it's been okay. Brace yourself. It's been my Uggs. Like, God forbid. I mean, how much outrage over a fucking simple pair of black, the most common shoe that women wear, probably Uggs, rather their name brand or not.
Yeah.
But the most common looking shoe, mine just have like a stacked, like a more stacked heel. And so funny, like, I mean, fucking Daphne made a post and she's like, this is my full collection, and as you see, they don't make the ones that Amber has. And I'm like, okay, bitch, really? Because if you look it up, it's right there. There's the name brand Uggs. It's like the newest. They're kind of like the more popular ones today, actually. And then she posts these ones. Oh my God, y'all. They want to call mine monster shoes. Okay, if you see these shoes, it's literally like 2008, the boots with the fur, that whole.
Minx
Yeah,
with
apple
the
bottom king.
fur.
Yeah, they look like cheap ass motherfucking, like, just this fur is like covering the whole boot. It's ugly as fuck. And I'm like,
It looked
but
like
my
something
point,
from the Vikings convention.
yes. And I mean, I'm going, okay, guys, really, it's not that serious. These are just a pair of boots. Like,
And they're going to say all this while Hooker and Mander are running around with matching Yeezys.
right, like fucking
Stop.
easy, for fuck's sake.
Stop it.
I mean, get the fuck out. I'd say Uggs, Converse, Doc Martens. Those are very common shoes that, like,
I like Doc
Adidas, I mean, like, it just blows my mind. Like, you guys are so desperate to rip literally everything about a person apart.
They fucking attacked my mouse, my hand,
Yeah,
my
what'd your
cat.
mouse fucking do?
Like, no, seriously, like the desperation is. Oh, like
I know.
I yeah.
saying. I mean, this is how fucking bored these women are, I guess. I don't fucking
The
get it.
same
And
women
then,
who have told all of us
Forehead.
how beautiful we are, right?
right.
Like,
Yes.
that's why I don't put any stock in what they have to say. Listen, today was like an exercise in futility. And,
Mhm.
I just started playing there toward the end. Like, I was playing. I'm not going to lie. I was
That
playing
was
because it was just like,
that
Well,
was
dude,
sick.
I
Scotty,
was being
when
such a smart
Here's
ass.
my new shoes that my husband got for me for church. I got
oh,
the
they're gonna
awesome
drag those,
Red
Miss P. Put them
Celeste.
down.
They're
Put them down.
Put them down. Put them
You're gonna
down.
get dragged.
You
fun.
can't
No,
eat.
but when I heard when someone said that CJ was doing a full review of the movie that we worked really hard on, I thought to myself, I was like, does she not remember being on panel with me being like, Robbie, I really love that you're doing creative stuff, and that movie, that was just great.
I can't believe that impression. You got to
It's
oh my
awesome
god.
when he does that. I mean, come on, kid.
Guys.
Like, you seriously, you can't even take the time when you put on that nasty ass beard to tuck in your blonde fucking long hair in the back. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna like pretend to be a dude, which whatever, it's kind of odd, but like at least take the time. That's always bothered me. Take the time to take your blonde hair and put it in the hat or something. So you don't look fucking weird with long blonde hair and a dirty ass black beard. I'm
Well,
sorry.
Amber,
That
I
bothers
mean,
Are
me.
you surprised she can't even pick her phone up off the floor without
Right.
tumbling to the ground?
oh
Come
Jesus,
Right.
on,
Scotty.
like,
No, but she literally, I said that a long time ago. I said, why don't you, instead of doing a cartoon, why don't you dress up as me and do an actual parody? I said, because in order to do that, like a parody is like, a satire. So you want to
Mhm.
look like the person, sound like the person. And it sounded mean, but that's when I was like, you're gonna have to work out if you want to look like me. And that's before I was going to the gym all the time. And so when I still have not watched the parody she did of me. I just saw the thumbnail and I was like, point proven. You don't look like me. You look like that guy from Goonies with a mohawk.
But you
Yeah,
know what
like a
though?
mixture of the Goonies
They
guy
will
with Elvis. I don't
they
know.
will make accusations against you without even knowing what they're talking about for months. Okay, for months. I don't know if you guys remember this, but they were coming in my chat. It was Tiffany and Amy and Mel and all of them, and calling me a fat ass and saying I sound my voice. That's what they said. They can tell that I'm morbidly obese
You
because of
sound
my
fat?
voice.
Nikki's
That's what they said
tiny.
about
I've
me.
seen her.
Tiffany was calling me Tubby, and they were doing it in my chat, and they were doing it in their chats, and that's when I was on the phone with Robbie, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what I look like." And they stopped calling me fat after I posted the pictures, but then they started saying it was AI,
Hmm.
and that I fucking edited the fucking height of the light switch.
That's a compliment, though. If
I
they
was like,
think you're
"What the fuck?"
AI,
Yeah, so it doesn't even
can
matter.
we
It does
talk
not
about
matter.
something real quick? I
Yeah.
want to ask you guys because I'm still confused on this. Okay. Have you guys seen the song that CJ posted dedicated to Retro?
to who?
No.
I wasn't sure to Retro Kitten.
Yeah,
It's a
the
love
one like
song, but it's like
yeah.
a love song that someone would sing to a loved one that had passed away.
What?
So is she in love with Retro or are we supposed to be sending condolences? Yeah, I'm so
Both. If
terribly
CJ's in
confused.
love with you, I'd send condolences.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fuck
Thanks for
that.
you figured it out. You cracked the code.
Fuck yes.
I mean, seriously, you guys have got to hear this. It was what Amber, you listened, right? Like me and you talked
Yeah.
about it.
Did
It's
she make the
bizarre.
song?
It's weird.
Yes.
It's really
It's
weird.
Oh my
weird.
god. I need to hear this. Is it on her channel?
Yes. And I even shared the link to it
And they
on
want to
my
make us fucking
post.
dancing and
Hold
shit.
on.
Like, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
you
just
could put the
it.
link in the chat if you want.
I mean, when me and Robbie do those little dance videos, we're just
Yes,
trying to
use
have
the
some
link.
fun and be goofy. And they're
Yeah,
I
it's like,
saw that, and I tell you,
okay.
I laughed my butt off. You both are so cute.
Well, I want to go to the club with Robbie, but I can't. So I
I
gotta,
know.
I gotta live it out on here. What can I say?
I
And
know.
Oscar.
And
I wish
Oscar,
all
yes.
of us could get together and party. That would be so fun.
I'll be the designated driver.
Well, I'll be there with you
Oh,
as the designated. So
and
Yeah, there you
I
go.
need to let Nikki know
The junkies can drive.
yeah,
I actually
the
bought a
junkie.
membership from you this morning, Nikki.
Wait, what did you say, Miss P?
I said I bought a membership off of Nikki's channel this morning.
All right,
Oh,
I'll
that's
email you my
nice.
nudes.
Yep, she gives it. Oh, by the way, so Molly Golightly's live yesterday or the day before. And I was telling her about someone I had hooked up with, and I showed her pictures. That bitch immediately says, Patreon, I'm sending this up. She put my nudes on her Patreon. So if you want my nudes, go to her Patreon.
What? Wow.
Yeah, she's selling my body. Oh, you're in Denver? Angels Among Us? Let's get it.
Wow. I was
Golden.
gonna
You
say
know, I was
I
going to do
have
that with American Dreams nudes and videos that he sent me when he had put some illegal substance in the head of his pecker and
Oh,
it
dear.
broke it. And he was tripping out. Like he sent me like 4,000 pictures and videos overnight asking me what to
Jesus.
do, how to fix it. I didn't know how to fix it. I don't know. And
Right.
you know what I
I
mean?
actually
But I
grabbed
was like,
I
I'm going to
actually
start an
grabbed
OnlyFans and sell them to people because I know there's someone out there that would pay to see that show that night because it was bizarre. So,
I actually
but I
grabbed
never did it.
the newest copies and screenshots of Robbie's latest nudes, and I only have 2 words to say. Yeehaw!
Miss P said she wanted to hog tie me after she saw those.
I will say I've seen quite a bit
Yep.
of Robbie in the past, couple months. I'd say.
Yeah.
All I can say is, Robbie, you ought to be proud
He's
that
a
you
hottie, though.
are that well endowed.
I mean, look, if Robbie or Siren, if either one of them were straight, I'd be going for it.
Get it.
I just would.
By the
I
way, Amber, you
would.
got to catch up. I made another dance video. You got to
Oh,
catch up.
I was gonna
okay.
say, Amber, like Robbie just said a little bit ago, is if I was not as happily married as I am, I'd be going after Robbie and I would be hog tying his ass.
Brantley. See, Amber, that's what I was talking about yesterday. Remember you didn't know what an otter was or a
Yeah, I've
Brantley said, "Are you into bears?"
yeah.
Show,
Wait,
show us your tits, Brantley.
so wait, a bear is like is a gay guy that's got more like hair, isn't it? Like beards, hairy chest, kind of
Yeah, I
Like
thing.
a
think
chubby,
straight men too. Like I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Nikki is into bears, right,
Like
Nikki?
I'm
bears
sorry.
or bear.
And explain an otter again. What is an otter again?
So like, okay, so there's like a wolf. They said like a wolf would be like like Adam Levine-ish, like wolf,
Ooh,
chiseled,
yeah,
hairy, kind of like Wolverine-ish, right?
right.
Otter would be like a younger version of like a wolf or a
Oh,
bear, you know. There's
I'm
other ones too, but I don't
into
know. Maybe
like
That
Siren
makes
knows.
no sense. How in the hell does an otter become a wolf?
yeah, it is kind of weird, right?
I don't
See,
know because
I'm
an
gonna
otter
keep up.
swims in the
I'm gonna need
creek,
cheat
right?
notes.
Well, they're
Yeah.
all hairy. They're all hairy. An otter's the thin one. The wolf is the muscular one, and the bear is the bigger one. So
So
yeah,
there
what would
you
I be
go.
So
considered? Like a groundhog? Like
wouldn't an otter be like a coyote? Or
No, a
oh, thanks,
you
Melanie.
coyote,
know,
like
a coyote is
brings
a
like
smaller
drugs
like
across the
version of a
border.
wolf.
So-
Hang on a minute. We can play that parody, Golden Swords. Have you guys seen my Kelly the Advocate parody? I gotta go in a few minutes, but I'll play
Oh,
that.
No.
Siren, can you pull it up? Just type. It's on my other channel. Type in Kelly the Advocate save Robbie. Okay, so what it
okay.
was it's what I love Kelly the Advocate. She actually was in here like a week or two ago. She's back. I didn't know, but her and I were fighting, and she was going off. So I was live, and I was like, "Ah, fuck it!" And I slapped on a pink wig, and I was as she was talking, I was mouthing her words like I was a puppet with my mouth, but it was going along perfect. CJ was also low key hitting on Hooker. Ooh, that's hot.
that is
That
just
is
fucking
so hot.
disgusting.
Oh, that.
I didn't want to think of the thought of those two rubbing bellies. No.
Oh, I do. God, that's so
Oh my
hot.
god.
Okay, I got one last question, and
You're
then
such a
I'll drop
freak.
down so Robbie can close out. But Scotty or Amber, do you both have memberships at all on your channels?
I
No,
don't.
I can't monetize because I say fuck too much.
Hey, I
see.
say fuck.
I swear worse than anybody.
I don't put like ads on my videos. I just turn on because the super chat will still be there. It's just your ads won't be there. All right, here's the Kelly the advocate thing. Love you, Kelly, if you're watching. So we're gonna pretend
This
to
is
be Kelly, and this is what
magnificent.
she's
I gotta
gonna
mute
do
for a
in her
minute.
actions, and she's gonna speak.
Because I don't have a whole lot of money? Fuck you. The fuck do you have? Who the fuck do you think you are? Fuck you, and fuck all your people too in there. Fuck you all. Hey guys.
Hey.
You can't even see your grandchildren? You fucking loser. You might as well paint a fucking L on your forehead, bitch. You know what? I have never come across somebody like you ever in my lifetime. And you are so lucky that I've not seen you in person. I wish we knew each other. I wish we knew each other in real life. Don't you ever talk about my shit again. Never. And tell your son's friend to fuck off, little voice box. Oh, Shanann this, Shanann that. Shanann got pregnant by some random fucking dude. And then she just got rid of the baby. And then this and then that. We're talking about the case. No, you're not. You're talking shit because she can't come back at you. Admit it. Ha, your house is so dirty that your son slept in the shed because he was so disgusted. You're disgusting, Mensa, and you look disgusting too. That fucking picture I got, you look like you woke up from in a dirt shed pile of shit. You know what the thing is? I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care what you think about Shanann or anybody. You know why? Because you're a loser to me. But if you're going to sit there, when I went up there to your panel, you treated me like I was a piece of shit instead of giving me a chance to even talk to me like a human being, like the other bitch on the panel was saying. Oh, we're trying to talk like a human being. Then why the fuck she knocked me off? Why did she mute me? Huh? Why'd she mute me? She muted me. Fuck you, you fat bitch. Hey, Robbie, I love you too.
Look, I was in the chat. She loves me. Oh my.
So, Honey Badger, Mensa are behind that channel, the straight channel. Granny Fanny started it. They were all working together. Granny Fanny fell out. They needed a mouthpiece. And then another moved in. Am I getting warm, bitch?
She said she loved me in the chat.
I don't care
I was in there.
what the fuck you are doing in your life. But who the fuck do you think you are to tell me that I don't know my shit? That I don't have my shit? Oh, these kids were raised, they're given everything. Bitch, you know nothing about me. Nothing. Nothing.
That wig.
Dude, that just goes to show how
my
long
God.
Granny Fanny's been up trolling people too.
That
Oh, yeah,
was great.
years.
That was great.
Yeah, I remember that was live, and Kelly and I had gotten mad at each other, but I had forgotten I was in her chat. So when she said, "Hi, Robbie, love you," I was like, "Holy shit!"
Oh man.
So, anyways, does anyone have anything to say in closing? Does Nikki want to close her legs? Amber, you want to close yours?
Well, never, but I would like to say, I mean, I'm a whore according to all of them, right? So
Me too.
I can't do that. But fuck all you bitches. And no matter what, no matter how much you drag us, you still have to log off and be you.
Yep, that's true.
Pity.
Thank
And
you,
we get to
Robbie,
log
but,
on to TikTok and shake our asses.
That's
I
right.
have one last closing thing to say.
Oh, I
keep
have something to
hoping-
show.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry, Nikki.
No,
Go
go,
ahead.
no, keep talking. I gotta find it. I gotta get it.
Oh,
Nikki was
okay.
just going to
I
show
was
us her
gonna say,
tits.
Robbie, I hope too at
That's
some
what
point
you Robbie.
that you can still help me to do a 3-way or 4-way video call with both
I would
Amber,
love to have a
you, and
3-way with you and
Nikki.
Amber. And,
Three-way?
yeah.
And Nikki. Don't forget Nikki.
And Walter. Yeah, we could all.
Oh.
That's fuck. I'm down.
So, hold on. I'm just downloading it now, and then I'm gonna send it to you, Robbie, and then you can show everybody what I'm creating.
Okay.
Actually, it's not gonna look like this, but I was just I'm making a thumbnail for one of my live streams, and this is the theme that I'm going with on this particular one, but it's not gonna look like this. I was just kind of checking out the oh shit, hold on a second. Wait.
Where is
I
it?
was hold on one second.
Okay.
Debbie does Dallas theme, but Nikki does like Nashville
Who?
or something.
I
Wait.
also
I'd
want to
like
say
to-
thank you. Oh, sorry.
I've been hanging
Oh,
out
it's
with
all right.
Robbie too
I
much.
was just
You
I was
have.
just going to say that I'd like to thank Robbie, Nikki, Mrs. P, and Amber for participating in this sandwich with me this evening. Thank you for this.
It's funny you
You're
should say
you're a
that.
top.
Yeah.
Scotty's your bottom.
Okay.
Sure.
It's funny he said that.
Well,
Wait
I'm
till you
always
see
the
this.
bottom bitch in every situation. What are you talking about? I run this.
I'm a
I run this
top.
motherfucker.
I'm on
I'm a
top of
top.
Miss P, and Nikki's doing reverse cowboy on top of Amber.
No,
So
I
run
don't
with
like
that,
the
haters.
reverse.
Yeehaw.
Okay, I'm gonna send
Yep.
it to you now, Robbie.
Okay.
I was gonna
This is
say
the
a quick thank you
picture
to
of my
Smiley
thumbnail.
for being so nice to me in chat. I really do
Okay, let me go
appreciate
look.
you, Smiley.
I'm sending it now. Don't say anything. Just show everybody my new thumbnail.
Is the best.
There's lyrics on it.
You know what my little brother did to me once? He said, Nicole, look up a prolapse party. I'll
What?
never forgive him for that.
Oh God, yeah. Do we want to know?
Prolapse. Okay, Siren,
sounds
can
like
you
an
show that? Because
Google
I'm not
it.
on my
Like-
phone.
I don't want.
Or
I
I'm on my
wanted to
phone.
see his face.
Well, he's got to show it because I'm on my phone. So he's in my StreamYard. Well, we're in his StreamYard, so he
Anyways,
can
I'm
operate
not
it.
finished. It's not going to be that, tacky.
Look at his face now.
Look
I
at
got
him.
it.
Yeah, that's going to be my thumbnail.
Siren.
And those are the lyrics of the song. And the song is "He's So Fine."
It's pretty bad. It's
I
along those
I
lines,
can't see
Locomai.
it. I can't
That's the
see it.
song. That's my song for Siren.
Yeah,
Wow.
prolapse. What is that? Prolapse.
I
I've heard
can't
that
see
before.
it.
It's the opposite of a relapse, you know.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Prolapse.
I had to go all the way through my video to get one of him laughing.
Google it later, Robbie. Google it
And I
later.
had
It's a
to pause it
prolapse
there.
party.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my God, that is.
I actually had to go through because there was a part of it where he was really laughing, but I didn't know if that was the one I wanted or there's like another one where he's kind of like leaned back laughing. So I don't know which one I'm going to go with, but that's going to be the theme. You're going to see that thumbnail on my fucking page. I don't care. And those lyrics are "He's So Fine."
Ooh,
I
got your
think
own
it's
dating
just
show
fun.
going on over there.
Yes.
I say when
the
Siren gets
XOXO.
on a roll, man, he even gets me rolling.
Oh.
You want to hog tie him too?
And I thought the music notes were cute and the music because he's the musician. So
That's just adorable.
Yeah. Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
yeah,
Me too.
Mm-mm-mm.
that handsome boy over there, one with the wavy hair. I don't
Look
know
at him
how
smirking.
I'm
You
gonna
got him
do
smirking.
it, but I'm gonna make him mine.
Damn,
is,
you're turning me on, Nikki. Shit.
Yeah, I thought that song was perfect for how I feel about Siren because obviously I'm never going to get him because I am not anatomically correct. But
Well, he has been known to swing in many directions.
yeah, I just think that he's past that phase in his life and he's kind of decided now that I think he knows what he wants. And I
All
don't
right,
think
well,
that-
I love you guys. I'm going to let Siren close it out so I could run and go pee and check the mail. So,
All right.
Siren, you shut it
The
down.
story-
Thank you, Robbie.
Hi,
All right,
chat.
guys,
Okay.
I'm
Hi,
jumping
chat.
on.
Sorry.
Later, guys.
Thank you,
Love
Robbie.
you,
bye.
Thank you for having me up.
Okay. Well, it's suddenly my stream, so let me find how he closes it. Where'd that go? Okay.
Thank you, Siren.
There it is. No
Take it
problem.
easy.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming to Robbie's stream, and I will see you all next time. Well, go buy Robbie's merch. He worked hard on it, and he was very hard when he worked on it.
No chance.